job post, go to linkedin.com/sports. That's linkedin.com/sports to get $50 off your first job post. linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. I'm Davis Allen with your sports headlines. In college football, the top 7 teams are unchanged in this week's college football playoff rankings. LSU remains at number 1, followed by Ohio State. Then Clemson and Georgia come in at 3 and 4. Alabama ranks 5th, while Oregon and Utah are 6th and 7th. Penn State, Oklahoma, and Minnesota round out the top 10. In the NFL, Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett will have the appeal of his suspension heard today. The 23-year-old pass rusher was suspended indefinitely without pay after ripping off the helmet of Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph and hitting him in the head with it. This happened last week during Thursday Night Football in the closing seconds. In the NBA, Carmelo Anthony is back in an NBA uniform. Melo made a season debut for the Portland Trail Blazers in a 115-104 loss to the New Orleans Pelicans. He finished with 10 points, 4 rebounds, and went 4 of 14 shooting. He also committed 5 turnovers and 5 fouls. And LeBron James made history last night, scoring 25 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. LeBron James became the first NBA player to record a triple-double against all 30 NBA teams. LeBron accomplished the feat in a 112-107 victory over the Oklahoma City Thunder. It was his 86th career triple-double, which ranks him 5th all-time. In the MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred is promising severe penalties if the Houston Astros are found guilty of using technology to steal signs. He says a thorough investigation is underway, and Houston is the only team that is being targeted in this investigation. And back in the NFL, Washington Redskins safety Monte Nicholson is the subject of an investigation into the death of a woman at his home. Nicholson and an accomplice dropped off a 21-year-old female at the hospital in Loudoun County, Virginia last week. She was pronounced dead from a suspected overdose. No one has been charged in the incident. Nicholson did play on Sunday against the New York Jets. I'm Davis Allen with your sports headlines for ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today?
The only thing I didn't learn today.
The only thing I didn't learn
is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Just felt there's a huge need in Pensacola to bring foot and ankle services, specifically orthopedic foot and ankle services, to this area. There's so much growth in Pensacola. I wanted a freestanding orthopedic foot and ankle center to do this, and as far as I can tell, this is the only one really in the country that's freestanding. Most orthopedic surgeons are part of a multi-specialty group. So we offer on-site x-rays, on-site CT scan, and on-site MRI. They can come to one place.
Visit NielsenOrthopedics.com to reserve your appointment today. For all.
The Paul Feinbaum Show is presented by Regions Bank.
Welcome you back, and glad you are with us. Sam is up next in Florida as we wind hour number 3 down on this Wednesday afternoon.
Hello, Mr. Feinbaum. How you doing?
We are doing great. Thank you for calling.
Thank you for taking my call, Mr. Feinbaum. I'm a first-time caller. First and foremost, I want to say we're hoping down here in the Panhandle of Florida that Tua gets a speedy recovery. All of our prayers for him and his family. Also, Mr. Feinbaum, the reason I'm calling, if Alabama wins out, can I say convincingly?
Yeah, I think I missed part of your call, but anyway, we'll try to get you back. We're at the end of the hour. I apologize. We always seem to be at the end of an hour. One to go.
Algae. That murky green stuff may not seem very useful, but it could be the future of energy. That's why ExxonMobil and Synthetic Genomics are developing biofuels from algae, so that the trucks, ships, and planes that drive our economy could one day run on algae biofuels with half the greenhouse gas emissions of today's fuels, keeping transportation humming while cutting emissions. Learn more at energyfactor.com.
The Home Depot delivers on your terms. Just say when, where, and how. Get free delivery on over 1 million items. No membership required. Need it fast? Order in-stock items online and pick them up in as little as 2 hours. Or tell us when you'll be home and we'll bring your order to your front door today. This is how doers get more done. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Visit homedepot.com for details.
ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. I'm Davis Allen with your UWF Argos update. The Argos are playoff bound after defeating West Alabama 48-37 on Saturday night. Redshirt freshman quarterback Austin Reed had a career day, going 28 for 39 with 443 passing yards along with 5 touchdown passes. Navarre High School alum Quentin Randolph caught 3 of those touchdown passes during his senior day, while Rodney Coates and Kenneth Chanel accounted for the other 2 touchdowns. Next up for the Argos, it's the playoffs as the 8-2 Argos travel to Wingate, North Carolina to take on Wingate College. Last time the Argos faced Wingate, it was in the first round of the 2017 playoffs when the Argos defeated them 31-0. Kickoff will be at noon with pregame at 11:30, and you can hear the action on your home for Argos football. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. I'm Davis Allen with your UWF Argos update.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
I thought I was too old.
I thought I was too young.
I didn't think I had what it takes.
How would I find the time? I figured I'd get around to it someday.
Besides, it's probably too expensive.
Too difficult.
Too complicated.
Then one day I sat down at the piano.
Drums. The keyboard.
Guitar.
Bass.
Ukulele.
I went into a music store and tried some percussion.
Tried a clarinet.
A sax.
And I learned a few simple notes.
Simple chords.
Simple rhythms.
Before I knew it,
I could actually play a song.
A pretty simple one, but I did it. Me. I couldn't believe it.
why make excuses when you can make music?
Why wait?
Just play. This message brought to you by the NAM Foundation.
Stephen A. Smith here. If you're like me, you have a mortgage and a family who depends on your income, then you need to protect the ones you love with life insurance. Life insurance can help pay off a mortgage or send the kids to college. It's peace of mind. Think you can afford it? Chances are Select Quote can help you get it for less than $1 a day. Select Quote comparison shops up to 10 highly rated companies, including Prudential, Banner Life, and Mutual of Omaha, and others, to find you the company with the best rates. For example, Select Quote could find a 35-year-old man a $500,000 policy for under $21 a month. That's less than $1 a day. Select Quote's breakthrough technology allows them to quickly match you with the best insurance company to find your best policy. Plus, quotes are free. Start protecting your family today. Call Select Quote at 1-800-601-6992. That's 1-800-601-6992. Or go to selectquote.com/Smith.
Get full details in the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
The UWF Argos are back in the playoffs in football. Yeah! And your home for Argonaut football is ready to get the party started. Join us at Seville Quarter this Saturday for the UWF Watch Party as Davis Allen and the Sports Call will kick things off at 10. Pre-game at 11:30 with Will Kennedy and the first-round playoff matchup versus Wingate with kickoff at noon. You don't want to miss out. This arguably could be the best party ever. Brought to you by Central Credit Union, where you belong.
Football is here. Catch all of the UWF Argos games and the big NFL games every Saturday and Sunday on Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. If you would like to be a part of ESPN Pensacola as a sponsor or promotional partner, just give us a call at 262-6000 or visit our website at ESPNpensacola.com.
ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. WEBY, Milton, Pensacola.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Just become the NFL's all-time leading rusher. Across the middle, it is caught for the first. It's Baldwin shaking free and sprinting down the sideline for the touchdown. His third of the day. Doug Baldwin.
Derek Brooks, who ran back 3 interceptions for touchdowns in the regular season, does it to cement the Super Bowl.
Boxing's elite, the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Baldwin beaten. The result has come up on screens that Gatlin's taken it. Goodness me, it was a blue American vest. 992 the Gatlin. 992 by the American champion to take gold.
Another Watson is wearing a green jacket at Augusta. And this time, his name is Bubba. Scores on a 34-yard touchdown run by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trent Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And welcome to the Sports Drive right here on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. I am Chad Brilliante. Glad to be with you as always as we broadcast on this Wednesday afternoon. Going to get to all the big stories in sports today, the college football playoff, and some more also on what's going on right now in the world of NBA hoops. That's right, for about 30 seconds. Look, we have plenty of time. Joining us now, Jeff Bryce, and we like the NBA. You know, WNBA's got a good slogan. It says, who's got next? You know, and I think it's "We Got Next," and that's sort of my slogan with the remote control. It's "We got the next channel." Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to watch. That was a fake laugh, by the way. But at the same time, it's okay. Yeah, I'm catching on to it. Joining us, Jeff Price, on that fake laugh right there. Look, you've been here long enough now. It's about 3 weeks in where you don't have to worry about the fake laughs. You don't need to appease me. You never did. You're like, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, but you got to keep them in your back pocket just in case that moment arises, you know.
Sitting behind a sweet jersey, by the way, on TV, we got the, I believe, Traquan Smith, the wide receiver right there. So, at first, I was like, yeah. Tasca came in. It's from our good friends over at Coin Sports Cards and Racing Collectibles in Gulf Breeze. I got these awesome jerseys, and each week we're changing it around as we've got the NASCAR Kyle Busch up here in the front, won the championship.
Winner,
yeah. So then we all of a sudden go over to the jerseys, and with the New Orleans Saints, Who Dat Nation doing good. Somebody asked that. I was like, who dat? No, and he's like, yeah, go Saints. And I was like, no, seriously, who's that right there? But he's like, Will Smith, it would be not, that's not the best jersey to have these days. You know what I'm saying? It's obviously. And our thoughts and prayers go out to Will and what happened there. But Traquan Smith, we got Traquan in there. So Smith in the house right there. It's more like choose your own player. You know, like creating your own player on a video game. You can sort of choose your own player with the name Smith. It's like, hey, many guys throughout the years. That could be multiple. What year? 1969, 74, 83. That's Smith, baby. That's him. Emmett didn't play for the. Emmett never played for the Saints. Be like, that's what you thought before that jersey was signed right there. Hustle them. Have some fun. Jeff, we got a lot to talk about, though, today with the college football playoff. There's been a lot of shakeup. Apparently, I don't remember, now that I'm hosting about 4 or 5 different shows, I don't remember making a rude comment towards the Oregon Ducks. Could it have happened? Heck yeah. But where did I come off wrong on this? Because apparently you came in today and you, like George Costanza's father, you had an air of grievance against me. So I would like to hear this.
No. Look, this is what you said earlier on the Tomahawk Chop show.
Oh, okay.
Which I understand. You host 75 shows a day. You know, you can get these things mixed. You make some crazy things. No, look, your statement was talking about the college football playoff that Alabama with Mac Jones as their quarterback, you still believe is better than Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, I'm not gonna say anything until I watch Mac Jones play against Auburn. I'm not gonna discredit, because listen, I'm not an Alabama fan by any stretch of the imagination. You know who I like, but I also have to be real in what you can't be biased when you talk about this kind of stuff. Alabama's still really good. You still got Jerry Jeudy and Waddle and Ruggs out there as receivers, who are probably the 3 best receivers in the nation. I know that we're big on Bama when Tua was there, and we talked about him being one of the best 4. I think let's pump the brakes for a minute. Mac Jones is not Tua. Let's find out what he has. We know, he did good against Arkansas, but so did Arkansas's quarterback that transferred to Western Kentucky, all right, and had a historic day. So I'm not jumping on the wagon yet, but I hear a lot of things from a lot of people talking about, well, they're still top 4. Hold up, because you just lost probably the most dynamic player in football, top to bottom. Let's let this play out for a minute. That's why I'm not upset with the rankings. I don't care about the rankings right now. It's the last rankings that mean something. Listen, if your team's not there yet, win, and let everything else fall into place.
Yeah, that worked out good for UCF. Just continue to win.
Yeah,
go undefeated. Win 23 state. 23 straight and right there. But, the ones that we really hurt for today is, all this talk of Alabama. Western Carolina, man, they got a game this week. They're 3-8.
Poor guys.
And they're not, we should do.
The Catamounts, by the way.
I'm not doing this. We had this exact conversation in the parking lot about me not saying outlandish things without a backup, but I almost was going to be like $50 if you can name Western Carolina's mascot, but that would have been.
The Catamount.
Yeah, it's right there. But you knew that before, right?
Well, one of these SEC teams always plays Western Carolina every year, so you get to know them.
More action, by the way, tonight, and I'm ready for the Price is Right to see where we can go ahead and you got to get your own like Palenko chips kind of thing going. I'd love to see that. But Akron, Miami of Ohio. I think last time we checked, tickets were actually they're paying you $6 since it's on ESPNU. They're paying you $6 to show up, and then Toledo and Buffalo tonight. That's an ESPN2. We're moving up. No more Ocho, not dodge, dip, dive, dodge.
That Miami of Ohio game is probably where Hancock will be, right?
That's where he will
always
be.
shows up on a MAC game,
or obviously a warm weather spot for the Buffalo Bulls. Something like that. Yeah. How did Khalil Mack get there? I would love to see that paycheck. I'm sorry. I would love to see that scholarship. I would love to see the ESPN 30 for 30 of why Khalil Mack was for Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? I would love, from the high school level, 5-star recruit, great player, Power 5 conferences were looking everywhere. But it was Buffalo. Doubles! And their 3 wins in the MAC. It was all about the weather in the -5-degree December if they made a bowl game in Boise. How did you get a guy like Khalil Mack to come to your school? There's some of them like LT. He always said he was just he apparently got the memo that you were supposed to be a horned frog, and apparently he didn't even know it was a football team, and something happened. I'm just saying. He was like, whoa, got the wrong place over here. I was I was thinking the wrong terms here, but apparently that's how he got to TCU. Now, there's some teams that you get. Marshall Faulk, he had relatives out in San Diego. Tony Gwynn was like, come on. Steven Strasburg, they got some. Aztecs, by the way, did you see the crowd? Like they were playing against Fresno State the other night. These people looked like they were completely, I'm just going to say it how it is. They showed like 19 people in the crowd, and it looked like a Bob Marley concert. Like every one of them had like face painted like the haka dancers. Like just for the look, I'm an Aztec, bro. Every one of them didn't even know football was going on. They were high off their keister, like on the side. Like they just were happy to be in San Diego in like 70-degree weather to be on national TV. And for people like me that have insomnia to watch them, that was pretty much it. But looked like a lot of fun. With that being said, it looked like a pretty fun school to go to. Have you seen that video, by the way, of Arizona State of why you need to go to Arizona State? Yeah, like they don't try to mince. Like there's some commercials that come out like, we are all about academics, the #1 law school, architects, famous people. They're like, look at our girls and party whistles. Woo! Like Rob Gronkowski and Neon. Here's a cat DJ and woo, 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 like the whole thing. And you're like, whew.
Yeah, because the other, like you watch these other commercials and they're like, change your future.
Yeah, they're like, look, we have hotter girls than you guys.
Your college State's kids. Like, you like to party?
Yeah.
Come on over.
4.0, 3.0, 2.0. It doesn't matter. We got 10s all across the board, kids. Be like, come in there. You're speaking to the language. By the way, it looks like Memphis center James Wiseman will be cleared and be ready to play just in the nick of time for around my birthday. And that's why he did that. Congratulations. January 12th. Yeah, congratulations right there.
That's very thoughtful.
It was
for your birthday.
Very Aquarius move right there. I just, I think I found out about my sign like a week ago. They were like, what are you? I was like, I don't know. You want to Google it? I was like, I don't. That's a perfect example of an Aquarius would do, too, apparently. I looked it up, and they're like, a lot of innovative ideas, but not follow through. I was like, yeah, I don't even know what sign I am. That is me. It is. It really is. They was like, okay, when God was making these signs, if you are one of those I'm not one of these tarot card readers. I think it's funny sometimes, but I'm like, they did exactly hit me. Like all these ideas, all of this stuff going through my brain, put it all together, bring it all in.
So
and
predictable.
Be like, yeah. I'm the guy that can go to Home Depot and get every single piece, can tell you everything for the home, but then you have to build the home. Let's go to more on this James Wiseman case right here. The NCAA announced the statement. Look, this is the fault of the NBA and the NCAA not figuring things out right now. Because the one way to eliminate the freak shows, which is the agents getting paid, because they're not going to stop.
No.
I mean, this is like one of those movies where they fend off the zombies, but there's another group of about 1,000 coming through. Like, they're not going to stop getting to players like James Wiseman in order to get paid. The DeAndre Aytons of the world ain't going to stop them. And you look at all the guys, Kevin Durant's, all those kind of guys throughout the years, because we're not talking about, first off, really much of a risk of a bust. We're talking about this guy's going to be a star. I mean, he's going to play at the next level and star. Maybe not Zion, and now he's sitting out getting paid, but he's going to be back. But James Wiseman, in college football, if you get to a Gunnar Keel or a Cam Akers or a lot of guys that were the top-tier guy, Dylan Moses, defense, it's a little harder to be a bust, but a quarterback, I can go through a long list of Jimmy Clausen's, Gunnar Keels, Kyle Wright's, Brock Berlin's, guys that were the best of the best, and they never lived up. Brock Berlin did give that one Canes showdown right there. I was at that game down there in the old Orange Bowl.
The fact that you said one.
Ted Hendricks sign, I'll never forget right there. I don't think there's anything in this room that you want to hear making that noise, but it was just back and forth smacking on those signs up there in the old. It looked like some of the bolts were coming out. They're about to just like fall on you. No joke. Nobody really needs to know this. Kids' earmuffs, but the bathrooms with troughs didn't have any normal urinals for the people to use. It's just nothing like getting a halftime group of people that already hate each other like a Miami-Florida State game and have them all in a trough together like horses. Like throwing chili and nachos at people in the crowd. Hey, come on, man. It was disgusting.
It's a perfect voice, by the way.
A rape of corn and cheese, by the way. Those are delicious. Little pancakes down there you get with cheese in them. But the thing with Miami in that game, I remember Brock Berlin came back. Florida fans remember. I think it was 31-3. Was at that game. Drove home with my dad, a Gator alumni. He didn't like that. But I realize that you can't, with the 3 years removed, you cannot guarantee that somebody's going to be great at the next level from high school to college. In the NBA, the one-and-done rule, the unibrowed one and Anthony Davis, guys like Zion Williamson, James Wiseman, they're going to star at some level. They're going to be on watch commercials. They're going to be hanging out and trying to infiltrate Colin Kaepernick's seizing over Nike, apparently. I know you're a Nike fan, but I'm not a big fan of that. Overall, though, James Wiseman is going to get paid, and somebody like the remora fish that latch onto the sharks and latch on because they know that's where all the food's coming in when they come swimming out there right down 6 o'clock at night. Now about 4 o'clock at night when it gets dark, just coming through. They're going to get all those fish coming through there. Now, Wiseman, if he's going to make a $100 million endorsement, these guys, even if it's the 5% or whatever the agent ends up getting, that's still $5 million. So think about if you had a job, and you've seen the show if you've watched Ballers or any of these shows going on. Think about what you would do and try to accomplish to try to get a guy with the risk of getting caught very slim, meeting at a Las Vegas, if you're not Agent X, getting Rick Pitino over at Excalibur, or one of these kind of moments. Sorry to throw Excalibur in. It might not even have been that. I don't know. I'm just thinking of the Royal Knights and $30 room stays there. But if you think, though, about all of the guys that have got caught, it's very few. There's very few stories that come out besides the assumption that they're all getting paid.
Yeah.
So for these guys to make $4 or $5 million in agent fees, until the one and done is stopped, until it goes from high school to the pros, where then the agents can. I mean, at that point, they can come to him and say, hey, the next move you make is going to be a move to the NBA. We can talk. Until that, these kids in sophomores in high school are going to start getting talked to, and they're going to start latching on. You're going to have 50 agents out there calling them. The biggest movie based on truth that is fictional, somebody's like, you better finish this quote, boy, after this one. The biggest story that is based on truth that is fictional is Blue Chips, the movie. Neon Badeau, all those guys. Shaq gets the Lexus at his house right there in Baton Rouge. You got the big country boy right there. His dad gets a brand new John Deere tractor, a little cash on the top. Didn't even ask for it. Covered up with the newspaper. Anthony Hardaway, Penny's mom, gets that house and the job. Nick Nolte really maybe didn't want it, but his team's hurting over at Western Kentucky or wherever they were, and needs some help. And Happy, the guy just so happened to be happy, is the guy that can supply that. And then Al Bundy's coming after him in the newspaper. All the things. But I remember watching that movie and saying, this is real, is a lot of times is the coaches don't want to hear the noise, but when you're suffering and you're about to lose your job, and these coaches are making $3-4 million a year, they're not going to do anything to jeopardize that opportunity. We're not talking about peanuts. We're talking about the difference between, because if something happens where when you lose your job at that level, like think about with Butch Davis and all the Nevin Shapiro boat rides at Miami. Butch Davis got paid, I believe, and he's a good coach, but Butch Davis got what I think is over $25 million during his course at Miami, winning one national title, and some could say two based on that Ohio State game. But it never was, it is what it is. All that being said, though, Jeff, if you look at what he would have done if he didn't get those recruits or the Nevin Shapiro, you can send him to Florida International. He can play in bowl games nobody's going to watch with a Seiko watch and a Best Buy gift card, and kids are like, yay, clapping. Full-grown humans dress as like blooming onions and coconut shrimp, make a mockery of themselves, not even covered. And they're not even covered in mascot gear. Like, imagine that. Like, there's Daddy. Be like, look away, son. Your daddy is dressed as a coconut shrimp right now on television. They're like, is that a tutu? He's 45. He's actually 50. This is even more embarrassing. He's like, all right, guys, I got some dip here. It's mango. Like walking around, you're like, oh, Lord, help us. Like, at least get a kid in college to do that job. There's like a 50-year-old dude walking around there. The Bloomin' Onion's even worse, but that's not my Bloomin' Onion, folks.
Is that what we're doing this year?
Is that what we're doing?
I will.
Now, if you and I want to, if you are willing to sacrifice that, I will as well. I'll go down.
I'm down. Tampa. Which one do you want to be, though? You look like a coconut shrimp.
I don't know how to take that at all.
There's no way really.
I was going to say. I was wondering. At first, I was going to be like, "Well, thank you," and I'm like, "Wait a second, this is not a good." Yeah, no.
At least you're not a blooming onion.
That's true.
I guess
you could go. I will take that as a compliment. I'll be that fudge brownie dessert. That's what I'll be. the bread that everybody eats and gets full at the beginning. I worked at an Outback in high school. But all of this being said, no rules, just right. That's their slogan. Oi, oi, oi. Now,
I thought that was the NBA's
a bonza of Aussie Tucker. Let's go ahead and talk a little more about this, though, because I do believe that, Butch Davis, if he doesn't get those recruits, he might have gone to a team and played, but he doesn't. You're not taking that money away. You're never taking those resources that they built. And the risk is always going to be worth the reward for these agents to get to players. So James Wiseman, all these guys, they're not going to ever stop. Just because one or two guys are getting in trouble and they're putting a foot down and the government's stepping up, the FBI's getting involved. They're talking about with Chuck Person over there at Auburn, what happened at Louisville, what happened over at Arizona last year with Sean Miller reading 12 font. And I'm sorry, he did not get paid. What is this? Is this Comic Sans? I can't read this. Can we go to Times New Roman? Who wrote this, by the way? It's like he's trying to apologize that he didn't get paid. Like, Sean, who cares? Like, DeAndre got his money, he's out. But all of that being said, I think that we're not going to ever be able to control this until they're able to jump to the NBA. And I don't know if that's the answer, too. Jeff, is that because we saw a lot of Kwame Browns. Jonathan Bender was down here, who was on the show, and he's like selling some kind of I think he's doing some kind of cool sprinkler system now. But a 7-foot center that came out, if you would have played a year at Kentucky or North Carolina, guy was awesome. Eddie Curry weighs 800 pounds now. He's probably doing something on American Horror Story Circus, all of these crazy kind of big, huge, tight. I mean, Tyson Chandler sort of worked out, but most of these Travis Outlaws, Darius Miles, they never worked out from that. But I don't know the perfect answer to this.
Well, I don't think there is a perfect answer because there's always going to be one side or the other that disagrees, and there's always negatives and positives. I think, listen, this is going to continue to happen, and it's happening right now. But it's like you said, they just haven't been caught. I mean, it's like kind of the thing where these players that you talk about, they want to be paid for their likeness and stuff. Most of these guys are getting paid for their likeness. You just don't know about it.
Yeah.
And there's ways to get around that. I don't think until the NBA and the NCAA come together and butt heads and say, hey, we want to make this work. Let's find out we may not agree with each other, but we got to come to an understanding. Otherwise, this is, don't touch that.
Okay,
don't
sorry.
touch that. All right.
Just trying to see if I could do it, but continue.
You jumbo.
By the way, on TV, have you seen this? It looks like it's floating. You look like David Blaine right now. It's pretty cool right there. We're going to keep it at that shot for that.
But no, I think that I go back to this is happening a lot more than, don't blow this out of proportion with this whole Memphis and James Wiseman thing, because I expect more to come of this.
Mm-hmm.
Not maybe this one, because they've already made the ruling and he's got to donate $11,500 to his charity of choice. Maybe he'll donate to Memphis.
Probably not. No, I don't think so.
No.
He's fine.
But
that wouldn't be a Wiseman type move right there.
But this is a thing that it's a high risk, high reward. But for all the guys that are doing it currently, and there's plenty of them, I'm sure, not very many get caught. And so that's why these guys are going to continue to do it. I don't know. I just don't think, like you said, there's a perfect answer. There's no, the grass is not greener on the other side.
No.
It's going to take some years, in my opinion, to sit down and iron this stuff out, because there's no quick fix. And when there's no quick fix, what people like to do is just put a Band-Aid on it and say, see, we did it. And what happens is you find more loopholes to that, and then it becomes a bigger issue.
Yeah.
And, regardless, Memphis is still a good team. So if you're a Memphis fan out there, you're losing Wiseman for a few games. Those are non-conference games as well. You're going to be perfectly fine.
When we come back, we'll get to more on the playoff committee selection, LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia. No shock there. In news that you probably said, I thought he was retired anyway. Paul Gasol has been waived by the Portland Trailblazers. There you go. How many people said, didn't know he was in the NBA anymore?
Yeah.
Coming back for more. It's Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola.
Regions wants to know, what's a financial tip you'd give your younger self?
You're never too old to get the band back together.
Regions has the tools and tech to manage your money according to your priorities. Enjoy digital tools, innovative ATMs, and customizable security features, all with the kind of financial clarity your younger self could only dream of.
Negotiate your salary. You're worth every penny.
Because some things are bigger than banking. Switch for good at regions.com/bigger than banking. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC.
I'm really hungry, but I don't want to spend a fortune.
Well, you're in luck.
Now you can get Denny's Super Slam with 2 eggs, 2 bacon strips, 2 sausage links, hash browns, and 2 pancakes, all for just $5.99.
That is a great deal. So I get all of that for just $5.99?
You sure do.
Wow, this meal just keeps getting better and better.
Some might say super.
I see what you did there.
The $5.99 Super Slam is back. See you at Denny's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. No substitutions.
The Thon is on. Toyota-thon. Black Friday deals are here at Bob Tyler Toyota. New holiday bonus cash on select new Toyota models like the new 2020 Tacoma Senior Double Cab, $148 a month. New 2020 Tundra SR5 Double Cab 4.6-liter V8, $248 a month. Or new 2020 Camry LE, $128 a month. Get to Bob Tyler Toyota while the Toyota-thon is on. Holiday bonus cash through SETF with approved 12,000 mile, 36 monthly, $29.95 cash or trade equity down. Excludes tax, registration, and time. Zero security deposit. All prices include $899.50 dealer fees. See dealer for details. Expires 1/6/20.
Truck drivers, why wait till 2020 to make a change? Don't waste another day or decade in a dead-end driving job when you can drive your future forward in one of over 30 different types of driving jobs at Schneider. Schneider's paid orientation starts weekly, so you can get to earning more in as little as 4 days. Get the most from the holiday surge, then enjoy Schneider's year-round freight stability next year. Don't wait till 2020. Start fresh now at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
I'm Mina Kimes, host of the new podcast, ESPN Daily. Each morning, we'll bring you a deep dive into a single story from one of ESPN's hundreds of reporters. ESPN Daily is brought to you by Indeed, helping over 3 million businesses worldwide find their newest star players. Post job openings with skills tests. Then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Sprint to Indeed.com/ESPN Daily and find a winner. Terms and conditions apply.
The Paul Feinbaum Show.
Everything you wanted to happen hasn't happened.
Oh my gosh, that's all any of y'all want to talk about is Alabama.
You're really not understanding the conversation, but anyway, we can move on.
Alabama's dynasty has just begun.
Hold on a second, Charles. Somebody wants to talk to you.
I don't want to talk that compelling moron. He's nothing but a lame-headed old man.
2 till 5 every weekday afternoon. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
You're out of your freaking mind, cowturd.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
And it's time for your Florida State Seminole coaching search update. Hot off the press, everybody. Jeff, you want to hear this?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. Got no frickin' clue like all of you out there. There
Yes.
you go. All right.
There it is.
Let's get it. All right. Get it going. Tomahawk chop, folks. No, I mean, I've heard good things. And, you know, at this point, though, we're all sitting back. Even like the people. Today we had Terrence A. Gross here, who is a Golden Chief of the Gross & Schuster law firm, hosting the show. Yesterday, Flash Gordon Sprague. The offices are named after the guy at Florida State, one of the big boosters. And they're all like, I can give you some tips, but, you know, we got a committee that's making this decision. Ultimately, though, based on all of that, I do believe that it's going to be somebody that is not currently coaching. But apparently, back on the radar, there was a couple names that popped up today. But according to the reports and the talks, the Bob Stoops, I'm not pulling my Facebook post that I've heard sources. And I hate doing that. I've heard sources. Who are your sources? I don't want to throw them under the bus right now. And I did name a few, Scott Rossman over at Panama City. The other people have said that. But at the beginning, there were two people that gave me that information. And all this talk of Bob Stoops not being a candidate or not going after
Not
that.
true.
No, that's fake news, folks. Don't buy into this. Do not buy into for Stu saying Bob Stoops is the guy they're pursuing. We have talked directly with multiple people. I'm on the Pensacola Greater Seminole Club. I spoke at their event. I emceed their event with Ira Schofel and the guys, David Forte, and good people that know this stuff. Bob Stoops was the guy they're pursuing. Whether or not he takes the job is another question. I mean, that's a completely different story. But for the people like, he was never a candidate, you're like, that's a load of, you know what? My old basketball coach from Minnesota would say, that's a load of hooey. That's a bunch of garbage. That's just. And then he would say, "Brilliante, play better offense." And that was normal. That was his normal line right there. Play better. I'm like, all right, that should have been my yearbook quote in sports. Play better. But straight to the point. He was probably right. That 28'3" apparently did not help my game. I didn't play for 4 games. But I do look at the coaching search, and apparently we're hearing right now. We're hearing. Don't be writing this down or tweeting them out. Bob Stoops is still not out of the picture yet. Apparently he wants more control than just being a coach, the possibility of being an athletic director, and they can't give that to him. Even though David Coburn shouldn't be the athletic director either.
That's agreed.
That's the other one on the list. Apparently, and this is not from me, but from hearing from a couple people and talking with Terrence today, P.J. Fleck is not off the table yet. Apparently, I know that because this is the thing. If he has signed the deal as of November 15th, then they're not going to pay his buyout, and he's already signed. They can't do anything with Minnesota. But apparently some people are saying that he agreed to terms, but he was signing the deal December 15th. Maybe based on knowing, okay, we're Minnesota, and we've got Penn State, Iowa, Wisconsin, and then maybe Ohio State ahead. So maybe like, it's really good right now that we beat some of these teams. However, next week, maybe that job's looking nice down there. A little warmer. A little more resources.
What do you think about that, though? Do you
if
think
that happened, that would be an incredible move for Florida State.
But okay.
I don't think it's going to happen. I do not. I think PJ Fleck.
Percentage-wise.
I think PJ Fleck and the kind of person he is, if he signs that type of deal, to me, even though it would be a good move for his future, I think that would be sort of in the eyes of the beholder of people out there. I don't know. That's not cowardly is not the right word, but sort of a shame on you for anybody that signs a 7-year deal worth a lot with the team and then leaves them within a couple weeks. That's just not a good. I mean, to me, you're going down the Lane Kiffin path if you're doing that. I don't think he's going to be it. I don't think so.
I don't know if he's the perfect hire for them. I think he would be a fantastic hire.
Yeah.
But what they need right now is like a rebuilding of that foundation.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to start over, and I don't know. I think a disciplined guy would be awesome.
Still floating, by the way. The ball is that's
awesome
pretty cool. That's pretty cool right there.
You like that?
Ooh, David Blaine going on. That didn't look like David Blaine. That looked something else.
Nope.
Tickling underneath here. Ticking underneath. What am I doing? No. Okay. Nobody needs to see any of this. If you're on radio, do not earmuffs. I think, though, Jack Del Rio is another name that has popped up. It's none of that's official, but, and this isn't one that's on a lot of radars. That's for more what I believe from my sources. If I had today put some money down in Vegas, Jack Del Rio's not a bad play. And I'll tell you, I have reason to believe that, but he's not on a lot of people's radar.
No, but I think that's the type of guy you need. Not necessarily him.
He'll light a fire.
Yeah, exactly. He would be able to light a fire. He's been in the NFL. He has the respect of that. He knows how to build a program. And if anything, you're talking about building from the ground up. Man, that would be pretty sweet. That to me is a better hire than PJ Fleck.
Don't you think if you made them walk around campus with like a boombox and play this 24/7, it would install some rage?
Yeah,
like right now, you know what I'm saying?
They score a touchdown and the band starts playing and they turn around and just
everywhere.
Stare at them.
I don't think like the science teacher would like that at all.
No.
Get out of my classroom.
You have a little fact on this, by the way?
Yeah.
My dad took me to my first Florida State game.
Yeah.
And horrible. It was awesome. I loved it, but it poured the whole game. It was cold. And Florida State, it was the first time they got shut out at home. Wake Forest beat them 30-0.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. On that note, we will talk to Gene Stallings, legendary Alabama coach, will join us. He is not a candidate. He is enjoying his sweet tea on his Paris, Texas ranch right there. And trying some of Ruth Ann's fruit salad out there. You know, it's good times out there, out on the Paris, Texas ranch. We're coming back for more right here on this Who is the Next Coach for Florida State edition, which could be the next 2 weeks edition of the Sports Drive.
Imogen and I started Jewelers Trade Shop in 1956.
Our goal at Jewelers Trade Shop has always been to give our customers the best experience imaginable. It's something that my grandfather instilled in my father, and without a doubt, my father has passed on to me. Those basic core goals and values that shaped our business 56 years ago are still very much alive and a driving force behind Jewelers Trade Shop today.
For 3 generations, the story continues. Jewelers Trade Shop in downtown Pensacola. Happy Honda Days sales event is here. Gobble up the deals at Pensacola Honda. Get a 2019 Honda Pilot 2-wheel drive EX for only $389 per month, $39.99 down. You own it. Or how about a 2019 Honda Civic Sedan continuously variable transmission LX for only $139 a month, 36-month lease, $39.99 due at signing. Rates as low as 0.9 APR on 2019 Ridgeline models. See dealer for details online at PensacolaHonda.com or the Pensacola Honda showroom, home of the one price, low price guarantee.
Guys, waking up over and over to pee is not okay. But now, you can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. We're talking about less urges to pee at night, less bathroom trips during the day, and better bladder emptying. It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one. You can try a full 30-day bottle of P3 Advanced, free. Just pay shipping and handling. No strings attached, no obligations, and no commitments to buy. This is a 30-day supply, absolutely free. Call 1-800-253-7136. Super Beta Prostate is the best-selling brand in major retailers like Walmart. But for this no strings attached free bottle, you must call now. Call 1-800-253-7136. Don't miss out on this unprecedented free offer. Call 1-800-253-7136. 1-800-253-7136.
As we age, we all need help, which is why Summer Vista Assisted Living and Memory Care is excited to be a part of the Pensacola community. At Summer Vista, each day is filled with smiles, laughter, hugs, and fun activities. It's a cruise ship atmosphere on land. Within the Summer Vista community, spacious living areas, beauty salons, barbershops, and restaurant-style dining are just some of the many excellent services they offer you. Comfort and care you can trust. See for yourself at summervista.com.
Foul on the party host did not utilize Sky's Pizza's game day specials, thus had his bland, boring pizzas for today's tailgate. Today's game is now delayed.
Come on, man!
Pizza's just pizza, right?
Sky's Pizzas are huge, and no one else has the Man City, hot Hawaiian, or fried garlic cheese knots. With Sky's Pizza, $5 off large pizza game day special, they're always the fan favorite.
After further review, the game can be resumed. Game day starts with gigantic pizzas at Sky's Pizza on Davis Highway.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Elijah was a wooden Indian standing by the door. He fell in love with the Indian maid over in the antique store.
Little Charlie Pride. That means each and every Wednesday at 5:30, kind enough to make time for us. A legend of college football from Texas A&M to Alabama. Gene Stallings. Coach Gene Stallings, kind enough to make time for us here. Coach, it is always a pleasure to catch up with you, and a lot to get to right now in college football.
Oh, yeah, lots happening, and people are scuffling around trying to be in the top 4, and that's what you got to do this time of year. And my top 4 is LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia. And Alabama's down to 5th. That loss to LSU really hurt them. And now they've got one more game to play, really, and that's Auburn. Whether or not that will affect the outcome of being in the top 4, I'm just not sure.
Coach, if you look right now at the way that Alabama played in the game against Mississippi State, and then Mac Jones comes in, they're not going to be the same team. Tua is a special player, but if you look at, if you're the committee, do you base, if they go out there and they beat up on Auburn, how much do you put on conference championships? Because it looks like with that comeback win by Oklahoma there in your neck of the woods in the Midwest, and then what happened also with the win, Oregon plays Utah, you're going to have 2 one-loss conference champions. Would you still put Alabama in with that one loss if they're sitting there in the mix, but they didn't win their conference?
Well, they've still got to play Georgia, and if they won their division, then they would still have a chance to play Georgia, wouldn't they, in the championship game?
Well, at this point, LSU holds the tiebreaker, yeah. So it'll be LSU, okay. Georgia. However, here's the deal. If Georgia ends up beating LSU and they both have one loss, then Alabama pretty much will be eliminated from contention. based on that. They'll put Georgia and LSU in. But if you end up having a one-loss Alabama, it might come down to that final spot between Alabama, Oklahoma, Oregon, or Utah. And I'd say out of those four choices, most of the committee, like last year we talk about with Notre Dame and Georgia, nobody's going to say that any of those teams are better than Alabama. They would just put them based on that they didn't want to watch Alabama again, which isn't fair if they say they want to get the four best teams.
Yeah, and I don't know what the committee even thinks, really, but up until this week, and if you'd picked the top four teams, I felt like Alabama should be one of them. Now that they lost to LSU, that's going to hurt them. It really is. But now if they have a convincing win against Auburn, then I think they still have a possibility of being one of the four. But LSU is going to win out, but Ohio State still has a tough team to play, and they could possibly get beaten. And if they do, then Alabama has an excellent chance of making it.
Coach Stallings, the injury to Tua Tagovailoa is one that is you could tell as a coach. Every coach and player has dealt with a serious injury, and they're like family. A lot of times you spend more time with those guys. You just got to have your reunion on the field, which is just a treat for all the Texas A&M players that you guys played under Bear Bryant out there, I know, at Kyle Field. But when you talk about having a player on your team like Tua, he was like one of the family to Nick. And you could see Nick Saban was hurt when he was in that press conference having to talk about him and not being able to play this year. But with that hip injury, do you ever see Tua being able to be the same quarterback? Because we know the power comes from your hips in order to make those incredible throws downfield.
All I know is what the doctor says is that he's had an excellent surgery, and they'll be back at full speed. Now, they know a whole lot more about it than I do. I would say that he'll have a good recovery and he'll be able to play. I didn't even know whether or not he'd play back at Alabama this year, whether he's going to go to the pros. I still think he'll have that option. And there's so much money at stake when you're a first-round pick or the first pick in the draft, and that's what he was projected to be. So, but I think that he'll make a complete recovery off of the hip. A hip replacement is not nearly as bad as a knee replacement as far as recovery is concerned.
Hey, Coach. Jeff Price here. How you doing?
Jeff, I'm doing fine, thank you.
So we know, this is Mac Davis. This is his show now, and Saban's already come out and said he wants him to be the leader to lead this team. We haven't seen much of him, and my thing is we saw him against Arkansas, and he did a fantastic job, but it doesn't seem like too many people aren't doing a fantastic job against Arkansas these days. But regardless, how do you feel? I'm sure you've seen him, the game against Arkansas. How do you kind of feel maybe things are going to play out for him? I know we have no crystal ball here, but do you think he's going to be a good fit in that offense? Or, did the Mississippi State, how he kind of came out and struggled a little bit, do you think it was good that he got that second half under his belt for the remaining games here?
Yeah, I've said all along, when you get way ahead, you need to play your backup players because you never know when they need to be in the game. Plus, if a backup player gets to play some, he practices better. And historically, Alabama's kept their best players in there maybe through the third quarter. And as Coach Saban was saying, they were going to work on the 2-minute period, and they hadn't had a lot of opportunity to do that. Hindsight, obviously, you'd have had him on the sideline, but you've got to do what you furthest thing from his mind is a kid getting hurt. You can't play assuming somebody's going to get hurt or not. But I think the young man will do a good job. I think they'll rely a little bit more on the running game. But Alabama's got some excellent runners, and he's a good enough passer. You just got to get it in the area, and those receivers will catch football. I mean, they've got outstanding wide receivers. So I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be the game this week is a gimme game, but I think they'll be ready to play Auburn okay.
Speaking with legendary Alabama coach Gene Stallings each and every Wednesday here on the show. Coach, there's never a perfect answer. It happens with coaches, players. We saw it with Bobby Bowden, the legend who built the program at Florida State, where it was even the boosters were saying, hey, look, we need another coach at this point at his age. But you have a quarterback in Phillip Rivers I'm watching this week, and he's starting to lose it. He had 4 picks in the game. It did not look pretty in the game in Mexico there that clearly President Trump wasn't going to be at that one. But, you got a quarterback that has been a legend from Decatur, Alabama, good man of faith, has 10 kids and raising it right. But the difference is he's starting to lose a step after 15 years of pretty much being a Pro Bowler. Coach, is there ever a perfect answer? And you coached more college, but you also coached and played in the NFL. What do you think? Is there ever an answer to when an elite player, it's time for them to go? How do you deal with that?
Well, when I was coaching the Cardinals, Mr. Bedwell's philosophy was when a player got where he was at the tail end of his career, yet he still had some playing time, he would want to trade him. Because there comes a time when you have some trading value, and then there comes some time when you don't. So I think a player can play too long myself. If they play 5 years and they invested in the where they get their retirement money and so forth for their benefit, I think it comes a time when they need to step aside. Now, most players want to play one more year. For example, the tight end for the Cowboys, he retired last year and did a good job in the television business, and he's back playing. Probably played more than anybody in the league. But somewhere along the line, those licks are going to come back to haunt him.
Coach, the Myles Garrett play this week, it's been all over the news. He swung his helmet. Thank God for the kid, Mason Rudolph, that was there at Oklahoma State. It wasn't something that really jeopardized him. His life could have paralyzed him. The end result was they've moved on, and it seems like they're okay. Myles Garrett has appealed, and actually might have a decent appeal based on a already 2013 case where a guy swung his helmet and only got 1 game suspension in the regular season. But did you see the play, and what were your thoughts? Because I'm sure when you played and under a couple practices for the Bear and being one of the Junction Boys, there was a lot of things that today wouldn't fly with the NFL or college football standards.
You know, the young man played at Texas A&M, and I'm a graduate of Texas A&M. I also coached there, and he's an excellent player. Plays for Freddie Kitchens, who played for me. He's a tough guy. The bottom line, there's no place, in my opinion, for that in competitive sports. Whether it's professional sports or college sports or high school sports, somewhere along the line, you've got to play within the limits of the rules. And the rules say you do not take your headgear off and strike somebody in the head that does not have the headgear on. I thought it was a very, very bad thing that happened in professional sports.
Yeah, I think all of us would agree that you know better than that. It's at any level, you know better. A kid in college, if you have a test every 3 months and you're looking on somebody else's paper, you might be upset if the teacher gives you a 0 and kicks you out of your class, but it's on you. It's not – nobody's going to blame anybody but you if you're cheating. So, in this case, for Myles Garrett, he did something where everybody that's played football at any level knows you don't do that.
That's right. And, there's just 5 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
And, somewhere along the line, if the guy instigated, you've got to walk away. These are professional sports, college sports. If somebody does something, how many times do we tell our player if somebody strikes you, or grabs you, or hits you, you just got to walk away because you can't afford a 15-yard penalty. And I'm sure that Garrett understands that he just did something in the heat of the battle and that he wished he could take back, and you can't take it back.
Coach, regardless of the Tua situation, this week with what's happening with Alabama, they're playing Western Carolina. It would be a game that not too many people would be watching. Western Carolina is not even that good of a small school either. I think they're 3-8 this year, the Catamounts. Do these games need to go?
Yeah, sure they do. In my opinion, now the Carolinas will get a good game check. They're playing a game in Tuscaloosa, and Tuscaloosa is getting a cheap win. Somewhere along the line, we've got to put a premium on beating good football teams and take something away from them when these gimme games. As an example, Clemson has not played one team that's a top 10 team. Well, if the committee took that under consideration, it's going to be hard for them to stay in the top four. But they don't have anything to do with that schedule. They're made years in advance. But somewhere along the line, the athletic directors have got to schedule decent teams.
Coach, looking right now at Florida State, down here, being in the Panhandle, you've been down to Pensacola in this area many a times. And in Tallahassee, Florida State, obviously what Bowden built, 40 years of greatness, just an average record of 10-1 pretty much when they played 11-game schedule for over a decade. And now they're happy to make a bowl game by beating Bama State this week, and they're looking for a new coach. Bob Stoops' name was mentioned, but you live over in that neck of the woods, and Bob is, I guess, getting ready to be an XFL coach and all. 2 questions here. How well do you know Bob Stoops, and do you believe he would take a job like that out of his retirement, sort of retirement with Oklahoma?
I do not know Bob Stoops. I know him by reputation, but as far as knowing him personally, I don't. If I were him, I'd rather have the job at Florida State than I had a new professional team that's going to be struggling for 2 or 3 years. They may eventually make it, but they're going to be struggling for a while. So if I were him, I'd rather have the job at Florida State myself.
And do you still look at Florida State, because you coached during the Bowden era, do you still look at Florida State, because you had to recruit against that area with Derek Brooks and Deion Sanders and a lot of those guys. Is that still looked at as a preeminent job to you?
Yeah, I think it is. Bobby Bowden did a great job, but same way with Coach Bryant. When Coach Bryant retired, everybody thought the program would just go down to nothing, but eventually it built itself back up. I think the same thing about Florida State. They won't get a Bobby Bowden right away, but they'll get a young coach that's enthusiastic. For example, the defensive coach at Clemson looks to me like he's an excellent football coach, and I think he'd be a good selection.
Yes, he is. And speaking of that, Dabo Swinney just turned 50. Sorry to age you on that one, Coach. I know your players, when I say these things, you're like, Chad, you know what? You don't have to be dropping the age of my players. But Dabo turned 50 today, and he's, Clemson is playing their best football. Wake Forest, Coach, the ACC is flat out bad. I hosted a show today that was revolving around the ACC and Florida State, and you can't mince your words. Their second best team record-wise is Wake Forest, and they just got beat by 50 by Clemson. But I feel Clemson's playing much better football now since that North Carolina game. Have you talked to Dabo, and do you feel the same right now?
I do. I've talked to him, but I don't really talk about the games other than congratulate him for what they've done. And I talk to Woody a little bit more than I do Dabo. But they've done an outstanding job. It's just unfortunate that they hadn't played anybody that's it's a ranked team. They have nothing to do with that. They've got to play whoever's on their schedule. But when the people making decisions on who's going to be in the top 4, they take some consideration on who you played. And it's hard for me to believe that Clemson's not one of the 4 best teams in the country, and I think they will be when they make the final decision.
I don't know if we were one of the 4 best, but you're preaching the harmony bells to me as a UCF Knight right there. So I everything you heard I resonated with, because no matter what we did, even beating Auburn that year, we were going to get an absolute fat 0 credit for it. So I understand, Coach.
That's right, and they've done an excellent job. I mean, but still they don't play the schedule, and they're not considering the conference that they're in. It's been a superpower.
Well,
that's the reason I feel like if we had an 8-game schedule, that teams like that would have an opportunity to be an enlarged team, and I think they would deserve that, no question about that.
Well, Coach, it is always a pleasure to talk to you each and every Wednesday. The little one is doing awesome. I know you guys had some cold weather. How is the ranch? And I know we got Thanksgiving right around the corner, and I haven't forgot, the Ruth Ann's fruit salad right there, getting ready for the big day at the table.
And we're going to have all the children and the grandchildren will be there for Thanksgiving, and we'll have a lot of that fruit salad, and we're looking forward to all the kids coming. I've got a granddaughter who's getting married this Saturday up in North Carolina, and we're going up for that particular function. And then as soon as that's over, they'll all come to the ranch, and so we're going to have a good couple of weeks.
Well, I promise I won't give you a call. You won't have to call me on I-75 driving through Gainesville this year. I will be in town, so I'll be looking forward. If you're okay with Wednesday, we will have you on next Wednesday, and looking forward to it.
I am fine, and you hug the little girl, and you tell her I'm proud that she's learning how to swim.
I am too. Be more proud that she's more like your mama, okay?
Okay. Have a good day.
You too, Coach. Always appreciate it. Coach Gene Stallings, one of the best right there. Yeah, last year I'm up there, and he's sitting there. And he calls me, and I'm like almost in Ocala. And I'm like, what is this? And I don't know this number. Hey, hello? It's Coach Gene Stallings. Chad, I didn't get a call from you right here. I'm driving into Thanksgiving to see my family. And I get off the phone with Brittany. I'm like, I just forgot to call Coach Stallings. I feel so bad, so I called him the next day. And so this year I'll be in town, so we'll make that happen. Coming back, everyone's like, yeah, let's talk sports chat. Coming back for more. It's the Sports Drive.
Hey, sports fans, we know that we all fumble now and then when we're headed for the end zone, and our vehicles are no exception. Next time your bad ride is a little offsides, take it to Amco Transmission, your total car care facility. And with no interest financing, even with less than perfect credit, you'll drive away feeling as if you caught the winning touchdown. You always make the right play when you take your vehicle to Amco Transmission on Davis Highway, just south of Airport Boulevard. Visit them on Facebook or call 800-GO-AMCO. AA-MCO.
Bowling is a sport that will last you a lifetime, and at Cordova Lanes on Airport Boulevard, every night there is something exciting happening. Like on Tuesday and Thursday, it's penny a pin. Bowl 100, pay $1. Or how about starting your weekend off right by reserving a lane for just $25 at Moonlight Bowling. Enjoy a fresh-made pizza and the lowest pitcher prices in Pensacola. So what are you waiting for? It's time to roll your way into Cordova Lanes and experience fun like never before.
Paul Feinbaum here for the Southeast leader for cranes and equipment rental, Craneworks. The Craneworks team in Nashville, Birmingham, and Mobile is ready to make your next construction or maintenance project a big success. Give Craneworks a call for your next lift, machinery moving, or rigging project. And don't forget, RentalWorks has a full line of rental equipment for jobs both big and small, and now offering qualified operators for all equipment, including aerial and earth moving equipment. Call Craneworks at 877-282-LIFT or visit them on the web at craneworks.com.
Does pain have you sidelined on the bench? Clearway Pain Solutions wants you back in the game. Our team of compassionate, board-certified pain specialists, chiropractors, and physical therapists will relieve your pain and restore your function. For comprehensive, patient-centered care, visit a Clearway doctor at one of our convenient locations near you. Call Clearway Pain Solutions today at 855-527-PAIN or visit our website at clearwaypain.com. That's 855-527-PAIN or clearwaypain.com.
Hello, everybody. You're looking live at Fansville, a college football utopia.
Fansville.
Where the rivers flow with ice-cold Dr. Pepper.
Delicious.
Where every day is Saturday and everyone's a fan, even babies.
Fan babies.
And the seasons never change because the only season is college football season. Get a taste of Fansville this fall during a college football game near you. Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville. Grab some today.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
And welcome back. Sports Drive right here on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Couple minutes before we get out to the break, top of the hour. Thanks again to legendary Alabama coach Gene Stallings. You know, I love that when we sit back here and we analyze things. Urban Meyer dropped the perfect just mic drop a couple weeks ago, and they were like, you know, what do you think of Joe Burrow? And he was on Fox. He was like, well, when I walked into his house and recruited him, and he shook my hand and said, yes, I'm coming to Ohio State. I'm like, nobody's competing with him in the room. Like, okay, he wins this one. Like, his daddy and his son just shook his hand and said, I want to come play for you. I don't think anybody else is going to win this one. But when Gene Stallings, I didn't even realize that. Usually I put those things together. But when he said, when I talked about Myles Garrett, it was sort of just, I just wanted his opinion. But, yeah, he played for Texas A&M, which is his alma mater. He was one of the regents, one of the top guys there. And then he also coached Freddie Kitchens, who was the head coach.
Yeah.
He was his quarterback at Alabama. So he's the most tied to that. It seems like it happens a lot, but Dabo's 50th. Yeah, I coached him, and he's my guy, and we had dinner yesterday. But Gene is, one of these kind of guys that it was funny because when he said that, I'm like, oh, okay. And he, even with all that being said, I think he answered it, Jeff, exactly what we'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy. The Freddie of course, Myles Garrett thing, I got that, like Texas A&M. But the Freddie Kitchens, what threw me for a loop, I had totally forgot he was his quarterback.
So there you go. When we come back, we are going to talk some more of the players that you should have just packed them up a little bit early. Like, if you remember Hakeem Olajuwon when he played for the Toronto Raptors, because you don't. We're coming back, second hour of the Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola and Blab TV. Having a good time with you on this Wednesday.
99.1 FM. If you would like to be a part of ESPN Pensacola as a sponsor or promotional partner, just give us a call at 262-6000 or visit our website at ESPNpensacola.com.
ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. WEBY, Milton, Pensacola.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Coming up on the Sports Drive, going to have some fun breaking down more. Thanks again to Gene Stallings. More on the College Football Playoff Committee and 1 full hour of Maction football. That's right. Not really. Probably 30 seconds.
Has just become the NFL's all-time leading rusher. Across the middle, it is caught for the first. It's Baldwin shaking free and sprinting down the sideline for the touchdown. His third of the day. Doug Baldwin.
Derek Brooks, who ran back 3 interceptions for touchdowns in the regular season, does it to cement the Super Bowl.
Boxing's elite, the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Baldwin beaten. The result has come up on screens that Gatlin's taken it. Goodness me, it was a blue American vest. 992 the Gatlin. 992 by the American champion to take gold.
Another Watson is wearing a green jacket at Augusta. And this time, his name is Bubba.
Scores on a 34-yard touchdown run by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trent Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And welcome back. Second hour of the Sports Drive goes now. ESPN Pensacola and on Blab TV. Thank you for joining us each and every day right here from 5 to 7, replayed midnight to 2 a.m. It's been a fun week. It's been a fun couple weeks. Jeff's shaking his head. He's like, that's very kind of you to say that since, I was about to say Joe Theismann's been in. We've had Flash Gordon Sprague yesterday. We've had a chance to talk to NFL coaches, Gene Stallings, Pat Dye, and Jeff has been in, by the way.
Me.
Yeah, that's right. How you doing today? Besides that, obviously, such kind intro I just gave you right there.
Fantastic, and as you see, my
yeah, that's
my
right. You've that is pretty cool right there. How that is.
Oregon basketball here. No, pretty good. I'm ready for rivalry week, and of course we're gonna miss it when college football's gone. I don't want to try to rush anything, but we got so many good games coming up in the next few weeks, and then everything kind of sets up for the college football playoff. And I think this week we talk about the playoff real quick. So boring, there's no drama. We knew there was going to be no drama unless like 7 and 8 or 8 or 9 swapped.
Yeah.
So
All right, let's go to our phone lines, 850-623-1330. Caller, who's this?
Yes, this is Sam Malone.
Hey, Sam, how are you doing today?
All right, I seen talking to Gene Stallings there. I'm going to tell you something. Me and him goes back a long ways. Him and Hootie Ingram.
What?
Was out there at university. And I told him if he wins a national championship, I would write him a song. And the next time you talk to him on the phone, you tell him you talk to me, Sam Malone, and see if he still got that video.
Sam, I'm sure he'll remember like it was yesterday because that's what Gene Stallings does. I mean, he's that kind of guy. He truly cares. We've talked for about 5 years every Wednesday, and it's been an honor. And somebody that we joke and have fun, but he's a man of faith, family, and football in that order, and he's never gone against it. He'd probably remember every word of that song if it was appropriate.
I believe he would, because I'd stand up there at the fence and he'd holler my name. Hey, Sam, he'd never forget me. He'd call me by first name.
Well, Sam, while we got you on the phone, go ahead. Go ahead.
Mention it to him if you talk to him next Wednesday there.
I will, Sam. And while you're on the phone, what are you? What team do you root for? Alabama?
I'm an Alabama fan, yes, sir.
What are you thinking right now? Good job. Well, roll tide to you. My wife is LSU. By saying that, I'm probably going to microwave a dinner. But I want to say, if you look right now at the way they've played with Mac Jones last week and going forward, do you still feel that he's good enough to beat Auburn and go forward with the win and get to them to the playoffs?
I surely do. People don't know him. He's a good quarterback. He can run, but he ain't shown nobody yet that he could really run yet.
Well, you know what? I think the defense, I think more than ever, and a lot of people aren't going to talk about it now, but Sam, I think the injury to Dylan Moses is now going to play a big factor based on that. Now you really need the defense to step up and be elite.
Oh, yeah. That's what hurt in Alabama this year. And it's just I feel sorry for the quarterback and everything. But our defense is not as good as LSU's, that's for sure. And
yeah, well,
if we ever get to play them again,
Sam, next Wednesday we'll make sure to we'll make sure to let Gene know Sam Malone, and we'll tell him about that for sure. And Hootie Ingram and going back.
Yeah. All right, I appreciate that.
No problem. You have a wonderful day, sir.
Thanks for taking my call, sir.
No problem. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. Appreciate the call right there. As got a 251 area code. Now Sam's like, you don't give me my cell phone out. But I'm telling you, we got callers. A lot of people don't understand. We got folks listening from New Orleans to around Crestview. Now we're in 4 states, and that's sometimes even more dangerous than things I say. But I'm like, yeah. Sometimes I need to rear back a little. But, here's the thing. We're college football fans like everybody else. Our bread and butter is staying around here, the Pensacola, Pace, Milton, areas right here from Perdido, Robertsdale, if you're out there listening. But, if you have something going on right now, let us know. There's always big cases all around. I know you were talking about you coached some high school football in the Mobile area, and there's been a lot of, we all been there, done that. But that's what the show I hope always people understand is, my opinion. I'm going to give it to you. That didn't sound right. But I'm going to go ahead and always give you how I feel about something. But it's an opinion on sports. I'm so tired of people in the draft. Who do you like as the first pick? I think Baker's moving up the draft. I don't know if he's the right guy, but I think, nope, wrong. It's like 4 days from the draft. I'm like, what do you mean wrong? Mel Kiper has Josh Allen. You're wrong. You're wrong, sir. And I'm like, you stupid piece. I want to be like, you do understand it hasn't happened yet. He's making an assumption based on a little more credibility. I felt like that with the Stoop. I felt, we had Golden Chiefs telling me it looks like this is the guy, and they were pursuing him, and they still are probably. But I don't know if he's going to be that guy. And frankly, right now, I lean towards no. I'm going to stick with my. I'm going to go with little Jack in the Box. Nobody else is on there. Del Rio. That's my call, and. Probably get some pretty good odds if you're driving to Biloxi. He might be field. He might be the field on that one.
Well, I think one thing we have to remember is this is a sports show. We're, like you said, these are our opinions.
Yeah.
And that's the glory of it all. And everybody has their own opinions. That's why we want people to call into the show.
Yeah.
We want to talk sports, I'm tired of hearing about UCF and their fake national
I was
champions.
gonna say,
and you're tired of hearing about Oregon and our national champions.
I like it because now I'm the second most hated villain of the show based on our teams. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that makes you're 100%.
I'm a
Patriot,
right. So I'm always hated. I don't really care.
True.
I Peg Leg Pete's. We were walking in for dinner. Just walking in with the family. I got a 3-year-old daughter there. She's like dancing to Moana, doing a plie, which is a really cool thing in ballet. And, we're out there, and some kids, like some hooligan in a truck. He was, 75 years old. No, he was actually like.
You realize how old you sound when you say hooligan?
Well, he was, this kid was like 12, and he's like, Patriots, blankins, and I'm like, yep. And I'm that guy from the movie being like, yeah. Kiss my 6 rings, buddy. And the kid's like, yeah, what team's you? And he said Dolphins, and I just laughed and walked in and enjoyed that Cajun soup. But let's go ahead and get another caller on here. 850-623-1330 is the number. Caller, who's this?
This is Jeff from Pensacola.
Hey, Jeff.
I want to say nice win for the Florida Panthers last night.
Big win, yeah.
And I think and when this draft is all said and done, I think the 2 best players is going to be Justin Herbert from Oregon. I think he'll end up playing maybe in the bottom 10 because I think people are going to be so in awe with the guy from Georgia and probably the guy from LSU. I think the guy from LSU will be very good, but I think he'll get drafted too high and it may not work out for him. I remember a guy that was drafted very high. He had a baseball pass. His name was Brandon Whedon.
Yes.
He was okay and stuff. And it didn't work out for him. And he was on the Cleveland Browns. I think if he would have been with a different team, it would have been different. In fact, it's your true story, Chad. Tom Brady said he would never have done well in the hot weather. And there was a time when, Bill Parcells would not have come there. They were going to move to New England Patriots. So I think when it's all said and done, Tom Brady, when he gets in the Hall of Fame, I think he should thank Bill Parcells because they were going to move the team and stuff. I know you would know from living up in the area and stuff. And I just want to say nice job for Florida State basketball right now, being tenure. And I'm going to say the Magic win tonight, 100-90. I think they beat the Toronto Raptors because I think Jonathan Isaac's going to play tonight because it's a hard team. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you. Great ending to that. I think Jonathan Isaac's going to play because it's a hard team. That's how, I guess the easiest word, pansified, the NBA has become. Players will play. That is a good word. I like that.
That's like a good way to take a bad word and make it
if someone's
usable.
like, I'm not sure he can use that, be like, it's a fake word. You can't get him in trouble for that. But, here's the difference, though, with all that. Jonathan Isaac is a good player. He's really good. He's only getting better, too. He's young. I think he's like 20 years old. And he's 7 foot. He's got a 7'4" wingspan. He can shoot jumpers now. He went straight up against Kristaps out there in Dallas and dominated him. I was watching that game. I've always been a Magic fan because not from where, because I grew up as a Celtic, as a Red Sox, as a Patriot. But when you work for a team, my first job was in ESPN Orlando, and that means covering the Magic. Once in a while we go for dollar beer night for the Rays when they were the Devil Rays, and that devil didn't leave Tampa overall. But overall, I'm telling you, it was fun to go to the games and get to sit there and watch it. Dante Marcatelli and I, we would tell some jokes.
You mean the new Orlando Dreamers?
What is that crap?
You hadn't heard that?
You talking about the baseball team?
Yeah, that they're the Dreamers. Is that because of Disney? I wanted to ask you that question. Do you
it's
think
not
that's
so magical?
If I'm a Rays fan or if I'm a Rays player, I'm like, hey, you guys are getting moved to Orlando. Cool, we don't have to go very far, Like family can still.
Rays have had plenty of time.
I'm not saying that, but you're the Dreamers.
I think Rays fans would be fine moving the stadium to Orlando.
Yeah, but to call yourself the Dreamers.
That's terrible.
That's like gotta.
That's like especially. See, that's not a bad name, but the second you're like 50 games below 500, it becomes
keep dreaming, buddy.
Really rotten. Like we're the Dreamers. Be like, dude, you've been out of the playoffs for 3 months. You're not. No, your dreams are done. You're crushed. There was a lot to make on Jeff. Jeff is by the way, if Jeff is our resident, pretty much fan of Florida sports.
Yep.
I got to backtrack a little on the. I don't believe the Patriots weren't going to get moved. I don't think so. They were maybe. I don't.
The Tom Brady comment with him not liking hot weather, though, I can see that.
Yeah,
those fancy sweaters and all.
They had talked about the possibility of moving him out of Foxborough, but not out of the Boston area. I don't think that would happen. Too many loyal fans. There was times of crap, though. There was times of not good. There was not with McPherson, Pete Carroll. There was not. It wasn't always just glory. Curtis, my favorite. Martin wasn't always running. Ben Wintercoats, Terry Glenn. Before that, it was bad. It was Grogan and Eason. That was not a good time.
Yeah, but that was like, even Alabama. You remember back, was it Shula?
It wasn't too long ago, yeah.
It was terrible. Like, they were horrible. They were a laughingstock.
They were 1-7 against, like, top-tier opponents in the
And now, look at it, Alabama, the Patriots, kind of the same thing.
Mike Price, some of those guys. But
yeah. My uncle would love that.
I know your real dad's listening today, by the way, so
Yeah.
we want to say hey. Yeah.
Oh, hey,
Thank you.
Dad.
Thank you, by the way. People on radio is like, what's happening right now?
What's something we're
just
talking
going to do
about?
like a shout-out-a-thon. Here we go. Grandma Thompson out there.
Let me go through my contacts.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do this real quick.
One thing I do want to I want to talk about it yesterday, and we ran out of time.
Brandon Whedon, yeah. Go continue.
No, not the 30-year-old quarterback.
No, Brandon Whedon, nothing like getting an endorsement, though. How cool is that, though, where you graduate college, you get an endorsement for Hover Round, like right there on the Grand. How cool is that? He got to do LifeLock, the Life Alert. He did Life Alert.
All right, anyway. But what I wanted to say yesterday, and we talked about, this being, this is our opinion, and people,
catheter bags.
I don't.
No, okay, I'm sorry. Just continue. I'm sorry.
Sean Clifford, quarterback of Penn State. I'm sure you heard the whole ordeal that went down with that.
That he got beat by Minnesota?
No. Well,
okay,
yeah, but what happened when he got beat by Minnesota, he started receiving death threats on his social media and then his texts and stuff. This is my thing.
Was this Dave Peterson again?
Well, there was so many of them.
They lost.
He said that it's like that look. That's a good look for you, by the way.
Yeah.
But no, but going back to it, the social media thing, and we all nobody loves football more than we do down here in the South, obviously.
That's right, yeah.
But the fact that people can say death, whether you mean it or not, death threats are death threats. Okay, you never know who's honest, who's not. To a kid that is between 18 and 22 years old, unless you're Brandon Whedon, you're 45 in college. Like, this is insane to me to hear that, and we hear it more often, But the fact that Sean Clifford is, in case you didn't know, like we said, he's the quarterback at Penn State, a good quarterback. They've had a good year. I mean, he just lost to Minnesota, and like most people have, just threw a couple interceptions. It wasn't a good game he had. The kid just had a bad game, and now he comes back to his phone with people wanting to kill him, kill his family, and things like that. Like, it's just
really
the fact that
ridiculous.
we take sports is it's like you said the other day, it's entertainment, and we have to remember that. And that doesn't mean you don't have passion. You can have all the passion in the world, be a diehard fan, but to say stuff like that, like, get a life. I just wanted to bring that up because I can't believe stuff like that continues to happen.
It's really sad. And you know what? I've realized over time, too, with social media and anything like that, you can find out a lot to me about a person because we survive among jobs no matter what you do each and every day, and you really, truly don't know that person as much. Like, you get to know some people more than others, but you don't know if they go home, what their favorite movie is, what they watch, what they do on their free time, and things like that. Some of it, don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby, you don't want to know. But I look back at, when people start to put death threats out there, it shows your true colors that, like, I'm not a Star Wars guy. I know these people are all over The Mandalorian and saying it's the best. Like, I'm not a Star Wars. I'm not going to get into this. But I respect people that are. Whatever you like, it's, hey, billions of people around, have bought DVDs, and George Lucas flies on jets because of it. But I do remember Return of the Jedi and the big pit, that the people fall into the sand. Like, to me, let's build one of those, and people like this, like, just take them on what they believe is like a free timeshare trip to Hawaii. Maybe even put the pilot that has been caught doing this too, and just fly them right into that. And just be like, we're done with you. Like, we don't need you in society. You have become a detriment to people that are trying to be like anybody that is threatening somebody over missing a kick, things like that. Unless you like Uncle Tony's coming after you, you lost $250,000 and there's no coming back. Like, they're at your door knocking, witness protection. Like, outside of that, like you want to come after him, like Cody Parkey, like that. But Blair Walsh, the kicker for Georgia, the Dogs right there, when he shanked that kick, and it was a horrible shank and one of the coldest. Some of those games look cold just watching on TV. That was one of those games, the Seattle-Minnesota game. That was just cold watching that game on TV in Minnesota. This is before the Dome.
Yep.
And they kicked that ball, and he shanked it. And it was actually the same field. They were playing at Minnesota. It was the Golden Gopher Stadium because they're building the new one. So it's the exact same field that Sean Clifford was getting the death threats based on the game. But something about that field. But Blair Walsh shanks the kick, and he was getting threats all over. And he's like, dude, and he's never been the same kicker since.
No.
And it's just so sad, though, that you can be upset. You can hate.
For sure.
You can be upset, but to actually go out of your way to want to take somebody's life over a field goal kick missed.
Or even
How
say
terrible
that you
is
would.
that? That's
Because most threats like that are nothing. Obviously, it's just people. They say
You've times Harvey Updike. You've made Harvey Updike look like a saint by doing that.
It's hiding behind the keyboard type thing, and that's crazy. Like, these are human beings just like you and me. Yeah, they get paid millions of dollars, okay, but that doesn't matter. For the fact that they miss a kick or he throws an interception and the guy misses a tackle, it's just sports. Okay,
Yeah.
we love it. We live and breathe it. But at the end of the day, like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Facebook talked about taking away the likes and dislikes to see it button. I'm not for that because I always think it's funny when somebody, like, they post a picture of, like, 10-year anniversary, and it's like a sweet couple. They're just sitting there. They got matching outfits on. The guy's got a turtleneck with the cat, and they're doing this. You could tell they got like pulled in, and it was like a paid photo, and one of those at Walgreens, and they're sitting there, and then you see people, and then you see like the dislike button, and I'm like, I don't even know, because I'm friends with some people just being friends with through acquaintances. I'm one of those people that likes, but I go through there, and I'm like, who's this person that dislikes this photo? Like, who is this guy to, like, clearly this person went out of their time because they thought they looked good in that turtleneck. They didn't. They didn't, but I wasn't going to say it. But they took time out of their day to have that photo, and you're going to, like, their brand new cat or their brand new puppy dog, or they just had a kid, and, like, somebody dislikes it.
They're not holding their kid like this, though, are they?
Like, we should find that group, and there should be, like, a show. There's, like, the sheriffs. There's a Wheel of Fugitives. Mm-hmm. I'm glad they have the show Wheel of Fugitives, and we, like, find everybody in town and just sit there and you look at people like, oh, that guy's in our neighborhood. That was our neighbor last week. Now, there should be a show of just, like, each week, like, Facebook's worst dislikes. Grandmother just brought 3 kids a brand new teddy bear, and Billy Thompson from Decatur disliked it. Like, Billy, we hate you. Boo.
Billy, if you're out there.
Like, why do you dislike this stuff? Stop being that person. You might dislike this segment. If you do, please click it, and we'll come find you. Coming back for more. It's the Sports Drive, ESPN Pensacola, and Blab TV.
As we age, we all need help, which is why Summer Vista Assisted Living and Memory Care is excited to be a part of the Pensacola community. At Summer Vista, each day is filled with smiles, laughter, hugs, and fun activities. It's a cruise ship atmosphere on land. Within the Summer Vista community, spacious living areas, beauty salons, barbershops, and restaurant-style dining are just some of the many excellent services they offer you. Comfort and care you can trust. See for yourself at summervista.com.
Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
How about we add Sunday to that list? It's the NFL Tailgate Show at World of Beer.
Your plans just changed.
Yes, they did. Live show, games, prizes, NFL legends.
500 bottles of beer on the wall.
And you could try them all.
And no wrong choices.
Well, trying all 500 week one, that could be a bad choice.
World of Beer. Beer as you have never experienced it before.
Come on, bro. That was my tag. Your NFL party awaits you at World of Beer.
World of Beer.
Really?
The wait is finally over. Grizzly Axes is now open on Davis Highway across from O'Charlie's. Grizzly Axes is an unforgettable, exhilarating team-building experience. Whether it be corporate events, bachelor or bachelorette parties, heck, even hanging out with friends after work enjoying some cold beer and throwing axes, Grizzly Axes is Pensacola's go-to location for stress-releasing fun. Reserve your zone now at grizzlyaxe.com. Be a grown axe man at Grizzly Axes on Davis Highway.
The Thon is on. Toyota-thon. Black Friday deals are here at Bob Tyler Toyota. New holiday bonus cash on select new Toyota models like the new 2020 Tacoma Senior Double Cab, $148 a month. New 2020 Tundra SR5 Double Cab 4.6-liter V8, $248 a month. Or new 2020 Camry LE, $128 a month. Get to Bob Tyler Toyota while the Toyota-thon is on. Holiday bonus cash through SETF with approved 12,000 mile, 36 month leases, $29.95 cash or trade equity down. Excludes tax, registration, and time. Zero security deposit. All prices include $899.50 dealer fees. See dealer for details. Expires 1/6/20.
The Paul Feinbaum Show.
Everything you wanted to happen hasn't happened.
Oh my gosh, that's all any of y'all want to talk about is Alabama.
You're really not understanding the conversation, but anyway, we can move on.
Alabama's dynasty has just begun.
Hold on a second, Charles. Somebody wants to talk to you.
I don't want to talk that compelling moron.
He's nothing but a lame-headed old man.
2 till 5 every weekday afternoon. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
You're out of your freaking mind, cow turd.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Does this not get you in the mood for, like, Marv Albert's next comment, you know? Yes! Baron Davis for 3! Bob Costas would come in. Bob Costas, I feel like everything he says became something of importance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was one of these kind of, you know, everything that he has said pretty much, when you look at Bob Costas, like, he could be talking about anything, like, down the street. 2 dogs met. They walked down the street. It was a park.
You got me.
It was summer, and it was warm. You're like, you just talk about 2 guys walking their dogs? Like, what? But everything he says has, like, the Tom Rinaldi, too. You put the music behind it, and everybody starts crying outside the lines. But I'm telling you, that back in the day, do you feel that the NBA – look, NBA has a lot of fans, and we got the NBA games going on. And really, it's not as big down here. We don't have a team. The Pelicans, they do a good job. They have a habanero nacho dish that's out of this world.
Sounds
not
good.
that best if you're, like, way inside the seats. You know, if you're on the outer edge, it's okay. But if you're in there, because let's just say you're going to have to make a run south of the border a little couple. But, you know, I'm telling you, it was they've got a great thing down there, the Pelicans. When Zion's back, I really wish Anthony Davis would have just had, like, one of those meetings and said, hey, look, with Zion and Anthony Davis, we can do something special.
Yeah.
You know, you throw that in, it could have been something. But, you know, overall, I wish that we had a team right here in our own backyard. But I feel the NBA back in those days, Jeff, it's just me, but when you had some of those games with the Lakers and Celtics and some of those, just the rivalries seemed so much bigger. Like Christmas Day, I would get excited when the Bulls and Pistons would meet and those matchups. I still have that, but the regular season, we talked about that earlier today, and Jeff made the great point. It sounds like this is a big game because they're at Toronto, so Jonathan Isaac's going to play. Like, that's what it's come down to. It's like we're going to play our star because it's a big game. It's the NBA. You play 82 games, and it's in an air-conditioned stadium that is indoors. You're not getting hit. You don't get fouled by the bad boys in there like Rick Mahorn and Bill Laimbeer. You get thrown out of the game now. You don't have to play 42 minutes a game. You play 35 at the most if you're a star. Like, so sad when they say, just the grueling schedule. Yeah, really, really sucks when you get paid $32 million to play 82 games. Quick math, kids. That's about $400 million a game. I mean, that is not quick math at all. That's $400,000 a game. So, you know what I'm saying when it comes down to that?
Yeah.
You watching a game, by the way?
Oh, no. I was looking at games this week.
Okay, let's get to the prices right down there. As
Can I
know you've been looking
music?
We'll get you. Yeah, let's get that. We'll definitely do that. But we're going to look at some of the different things going on when it comes down to. All right, here we go. Let's see as we are set to go here. There we go.
Oh, nice. So, if you're an Alabama or Auburn fan, how about this? Auburn, you've got tickets starting at $6.
$6, right?
Yeah, you're playing Sanford. You're getting that warm-up game. You're getting ready for the boys coming to town next week. $6, can't beat it. If you're an Alabama fan, we know you got the Catamounts of Western Carolina coming to town. $5.
$5 tickets right now.
Absolutely.
You think with Tua it'd be $6?
It might be
$6.50.
It might be $6.50.
Isn't that a slap in the face when they put like $6.49 on things that you?
But here. So I got a couple more that might surprise you. All right, not really surprise you, but you think for $2, $2, you got that in your console of your vehicle, right?
I do not, but thank you for respecting that. Yeah.
If you want to watch Houston
Thank
versus...
you for optimistically thinking of my life. I appreciate that kind moment.
If you want to watch Houston versus the former fake national champion, the ones they beat, now UCF, Tulsa.
Yeah.
Houston versus Tulsa,
right
$2. All right, but you also have Abilene Christian at Mississippi State. Hey, little SEC football right there for $2. Joe Moorhead's not going to like that when he sees it.
No, nobody's excited for Moorhead right now.
My surprise is Colorado State at Wyoming. Wyoming. Now, remember, I'm talking about Alabama, the $5. There's a lot of games. It's cheap this week. Wyoming, starting at $39. That's the nosebleeds up there. Man, geez, $39 to go watch Wyoming? Is that because
what else do you have?
Yeah, but that's highway robbery. Charge people up there $39.
That's like when a hurricane's coming with water bottles and gas prices. I'm telling you, what else are they going to do? Well, honey, let's go to the beaches. No. Let's go to that park again. You mean what we did last 8 Saturdays? Look, they got stuff to do in Laramie, which is just football.
You've got 1 minute, I know, to get to the Akron at Miami of Ohio game or the Toledo at Buffalo game, but $10 and $6 right there. If you're looking for a game out in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the week, you got nothing better with your life. You got a private jet. There you go. Go for it. But buy out the whole stadium for that.
That is the Price is Right. Jeff Price with the best prices of the week. Tickets. It really has nothing to do with the tickets anymore. It's the travel, the time, the hotel.
Can I just apologize to those Charger fans, by the way, the other night? Paying 462 pesos to go watch Phillip Rivers throw 4 interceptions. Sorry about that, guys.
I like that meme out there. You get a pick, and you get a pick.
That was great.
And you get a pick, and everybody gets a pick right there. Like Oprah would have been proud. His career has gone down a little. We do have a question coming in here. Who do you think was the best out of Hakeem, Shaq, David, and Patrick Ewing? That comes from Ethan. Has texted in at 850-623-1330 is the number. Out of those, I'll start this one off. I would say number one on that list. Gosh, I love Shaq. Shaq was my favorite player.
I'm going to let you handle this one.
Okay. I'm going Hakeem Olajuwon 1. I'll go Shaq 2. Whew. I'll go Patrick Ewing 3 and David Robinson 4. And that's not a knock on any of them. Those are all upper echelon elite players.
Yeah.
That's like saying rank Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, and John Elway or Brett Favre. You're not whoever you put last. Somebody's gonna be like, come on,
this guy's crazy.
Come on, come on. That's like everybody has a New Jersey accent when you're upset. Come on, yo, come on, man. You got David Robinson, man, the Admiral, Navy, sorry, who do you like there? Patrick Ewing? Shaq? Hakeem? Well, I just mentioned everybody, so who do you like there? I would go Hakeem, Shaq, Patrick, and David in that order. Just based on what they meant to because Shaq, think about it too. The Admiral,
just your accent and everything. It's like people arguing in Philly about where the best Philly cheesesteak is. It's just
king of all the meats, it's prime rib, baby. And I'm like, no. Yeah.
Gotta put the cheese with.
You can just see me going back up north.
I
know this moment. Like, hey,
in the frigid.
Out of the nowhere, I come out here like, how's it going, y'all? Wearing the hat. And nice to meet you here. And then all of a sudden, get up there 2 minutes. Jerry!
You get off the
jet. Oh. Get off the Greyhound bus. Make the story real. But yeah, I would. That's my order right there. I'm going to go Hakeem, Shaq, Patrick. I mean, that could go anyway. That question, you could rank that anyway. Yeah. It's hard to pick that. 850-623-1330 is the number. As some of the stories here today, as the NFL will uphold Larry Ogunjobi's 1-game suspension. That was one of Fred Robbins' players. He was talking about it during the game. Fred's coached a number of guys. Josh Allen's having an incredible year in Jacksonville. He was going to be a beast. I was shocked that he could have gone even earlier. What did he go, number 5 or 6? Yeah, I think it was 5 or 6. 5. But you could tell Kentucky is missing him more than even – would you say who is more important? Kentucky for Kentucky fans. More important is that we don't lose to Evansville in basketball. Ashley Judd is crying somewhere. Can I see? No. I think that the worst would be, out of the two, who hurt them the most, Benny Snell or Josh Allen going pro? I mean, they had to. Benny Snell it was his time to go. Josh Allen left early, but who would?
I don't know, because that defense kept him in ball games. I mean, Benny Snell, he was good.
He was a lot of fun.
I mean, he was a lot of fun, but at the same time, like, I believe defense is more important than offense when it comes down to it. You have to have a defense. You have to have a defense.
I mean,
yeah, and I'm saying this with LSU having virtually, given up however much they want to give up. I just think that if you're talking about more important to Kentucky, though,
I can't agree with that comment at all. I agree with you have to have – here's the thing. Great teams have both in order to win. But, Jeff, I don't know if we can – can you really say that Cincinnati, the Bengals, have a bad defense? Can you say that? Are we ignoring me here?
No,
because I'm not saying it.
You want me to prove my point right here? Let's
please
go back.
do, yeah. Please prove why defense is more important than having a solid quarterback.
No, that's not our point. Don't put words in my mouth. All right. Kentucky versus Florida last year, 27-16. They held Florida to 16 points.
Okay.
All right. I'm not going to go to these like Murray State games. You don't have to worry about that. Kentucky versus Mississippi State, 28-7. They held them to 7 points. I know they scored 28. I'm not saying anything. What I'm saying is South Carolina, they gave up 10 points. Texas A&M, they only gave up 20. They lost 14-20. Vanderbilt, well, if you give up more than like a touchdown to Vanderbilt, you're terrible anyway.
Yeah. Disrespectful, folks. Let's take that for the
Listen, I love Vanderbilt.
Craig Smith, a lot of good friends out there that are Vanderbilt fans.
I look at these like, if they didn't have a defense, they get ran through. Their offense was good for sure. I'm not saying anything like that, but I just think the foundation, you have more success with having a foundation of a good defense. I know times have changed and everything like that, but in the long run, you have a better foundation with a good defense, and that's why I believe, and I'm going to use this over and over, and Christian got tired of me saying this, but the Washington Wildcats this year were built on a sound defense, and it made their offense better because it gives you a chance. And your offense, there's not as much pressure. If you're like an LSU, you're going out there like that Alabama game, it was like, you have to score. I'm just a believer in defense. I know
Didn't you
UCF,
coach quarterbacks?
Listen,
Didn't you coach quarterbacks?
Yeah. But I also coached the secondary. But listen, UCF, you guys didn't play defense. I get that, okay?
Okay.
Look,
all right. Now
I go for
I
Oregon.
was already upset.
We just now found a defense this year.
Mitch, I was about to unleash the fury anyway. Now I'm coming at you at full force. Okay. Your question, too, because that was very – I guess I started with the lawyer tort talk, I guess you could say.
You
there.
did.
I did because I took whatever case I wanted to make.
I know, and you just brought me into it.
I sucked you in. Yeah. That's what I do. Now, Josh Allen, to me, I'll hear that argument. Josh Allen was more important to the overall scheme than Benny Snell. That is not, but that doesn't, I'm not answering, he's answering defense wins over. No. The defensive end and an incredible pass rusher can be so dynamic at college. Because in the NFL, look, even the bad ones, even the ones that get the bad grades, are pretty solid overall when it comes to being on the offensive line. You can get bad offensive linemen in football. Like, there's got Tennessee, South Carolina. There's some of those guys. There's some big jombos out there, country fed, 16 helpings of mom's mac and cheese. That was the best interview ever. DJ Reader, 6'2", 340-pound D tackle for Clemson. I got to interview him and his Mama Reader, out there, and they were sitting there at the Senior Bowl. And I asked, those are the best interviews by far. The Senior Bowl, we get to do mom and son interviews when they're out there on, I believe it's Wednesday before the games. And they're the best interviews because sometimes you forget. I'm 34, and I'm sitting there next to a guy who's 6'2", 340 with a beard, looks like James Worthy, and you're like, you want to call them sir, but these are 19 and 20-year-old kids. But their mom's sitting there, and it was funny because she goes, I don't know what kind of credit he's taking. If it wasn't for my third and fourth helpings of macaroni cheese, I got that bacon, you know that, DJ? And she's like, yes, Mama. Like, those without that, he was like, you weighed like 240 pounds when you were a senior in high school. Now you weigh like 340, and you started for the Houston Texans. Be like, yes, Mama. Like, yeah, that's he's one of those chunky Campbell Soups commercial, kind of thing. Those guys are big, but some of them on some of those teams aren't that great. We're going to watch some match football tonight. Watch the footwork on some of the offensive line. You might get the neck roll guys and stuff like that. It really, it's a good way to prove whether a guy is decent or not as an O-lineman. Watch these MAC games, and if they're wearing long sleeves, they're probably not good. Think about it, because none of the Tony Basellis and those kind of guys will wear long sleeves as an O-lineman. If you're wearing long sleeves as an O-lineman, that's not the guy I want protecting my quarterback.
The perfect thing is we were talking about Khalil Mack earlier at Buffalo, and it was like snowing and freezing, and everybody's like shivering. And he comes to the sideline. He's got the jersey rolled up all the way and everything, and that's why you knew that guy. Not to mention he was huge. And he was just running through people, but you knew that guy. He was going to be something.
There was a point to this story. This happens on the show all the time. You're used to this is normal. Now, the point though with the offense and defense, you have to have a decent quarterback to have an elite. If you have elite defense, but you have a decent quarterback, you can win. If you and everybody wants to be like, case in point, Trent Dilfer. Okay, you know what? One time you had the best defense of all time in the history of the NFL, and Trent Dilfer was balding. But he was okay, and you had Jamal Lewis running, and they won a lot of games like 17-3 that year. But if you have a great quarterback, you can, look, perfect example to me would be Cincinnati doesn't have a horrible defense. Or actually, perfect example right now. Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers have a pretty good defense. Mm-hmm. One of the better defenses ranked in the NFL. Pittsburgh Steelers versus Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, who have a bad defense. Who are you taking? I think I just dropped the mic on you. Kansas City with a bad defense but an elite quarterback against Pittsburgh that has a bad quarterback and elite defense. Who you take?
Well, you take the elite quarterback.
So I think I've made my point without having to make my point.
But
case closed. Let's go to break.
Well,
I'll give him a chance for a rebuttal. That's not going to win. When we come back,
Terry Wilson was still the quarterback of Kentucky.
Okay, hi, what are we doing today?
I need something that screams something fun. Nothing too on the face, nothing too off the face, but also totally hot.
So I have the perfect thing. It's the most food mullet. You're totally business in the front, but tailgate in the back. It's a fat party. People are having fun. Snap. All your friends are going to be like, whoa, awesome setup. Everyone else is going to be all jelly, okay?
Just like a killer mullet, Moe's Catering will turn the back of your ride into a tailgate party that's sure to turn some heads. Just order ahead and pick it up on your way.
Moe's Southwest Grill, now open in Pace on Highway 90 next to Publix grocery store.
Check off everyone's wish list this season with Beau Ravage's Christmas in the Air, featuring high-kicking precision dancers in this Broadway-style holiday tradition. Get into the holiday spirit with Christmas classics, world-class singers, and special appearances from Santa and his friends. It's perfect for the whole family. Hotel and ticket packages start at $99, December 14th through the 27th. Visit BeauRavage.com for tickets. A Rand production show, schedule subject to change. Some restrictions and blackout dates may apply.
Locally owned Jackson Pace Pharmacy has exciting news for ED patients. Tadalafil, the FDA-approved generic for Cialis, is now here, and the cost savings are huge. Save 80% on the 20-milligram tablets, 30 tablets for $80, less than $3 a pill. A prescription from your doctor is required, so stop by Jackson Pace Pharmacy, 2256 West 9 Mile Road in Pensacola, and cash in on the savings today.
Happy Honda Days sales event is here at Pensacola Honda. Get a 2019 Honda CR-V LX two-wheel drive for only $299 per month, $39.99 down. You own it. Or how about a 2019 Honda Accord sedan continuously variable transmission LX for only $175 a month, 36-month lease, $39.99 due at signing. Rates as low as 0.9 APR on 2019 Ridgeline models. See dealer for details. Online at PensacolaHonda.com, home of the one price, low price guarantee.
The wait is finally over. Grizzly Axes is now open on Davis Highway across from O'Charlie's. Grizzly Axes is an unforgettable, exhilarating team-building experience. Whether it be corporate events, bachelor or bachelorette parties, heck, even hanging out with friends after work enjoying some cold beer and throwing axes, Grizzly Axes is Pensacola's go-to location for stress-releasing fun. Reserve your zone now at grizzlyaxe.com. Be a grown axe man at Grizzly Axes on Davis Highway.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
right, make sure to get all your pets spayed and neutered here on Welcome Back Sports Drive with you right here on ESPN Pensacola. Bob Barker was the best. No? Now you've had enough. Beep. No. I look back at, was there anybody that ever got sick and didn't watch The Price is Right? I felt like that was sacrilegious. Before you could watch Netflix and Disney Plus and Hulu or Gulu or whatever there is, Roku and everything today, there's like 8,000 things going on. I got this Fire Stick TV or something that's been wrapped up. I feel like Will Ferrell from the movie Old School. It's like, it's got 3 speeds, yeah. Be like, I gave that to you for Christmas. Like, I've tried to give this away to like 3 people, and like, I don't want that. Like, I want it it was actually nice and good people over there. And when Andy South was there, but Dean and all the folks, Pensacola Honda, they do a great job. They're one of our sponsors. But it was I won that as one of the raffle gifts for their brand new shop down there, and I still have it up there. It has not. I don't know what to do with it yet. I don't know what to do with my hand, but it's been up there. There's so many of those different devices and things like that. You know, but back in the day, there was only like 3 or 4 channels you watch. Like you watched the Braves on TBS, or you grew up with the Cubs on WGN. Hey, it's a long fly ball out to right field. It's back at the wall. Andre Dawson's back. Home run. Cubs win. Cubs win. Holy cow. And then you would have Steve Stone step in and go. And it was a ground out to shortstop. Sean Dunstan's out for out number 3. We'll be back tomorrow on WGN. Thanks for watching. And then the Bozo the Clown grand prize game would take over.
Not that
and
again.
That was him. He just passed. Price is Right was one that you had to, you had to watch it. Your mom would watch soaps, bonbons, and you didn't watch it. You're acting like you don't want to participate.
No, I
this.
do.
I don't.
I was
not in a bad way. I'm just saying.
You were
I felt
going
like
back
you were,
down a trip down memory lane.
Yeah,
I was letting you have it. I didn't want to interrupt that.
This is not memory lane. This is telling a story of when I was sick on the couch with bronchitis, and I used to watch Price is Right. But
I remember like the times that I was
3 days a week for school. Exactly.
I was sick, and
for that whole senior year of high school.
Anyway. No, but I remember, being a little kid and watching Price is Right, and you at first you think about it, and you're like, this is stupid. I want action. I want, whatever. I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers, so I didn't get that.
Really? Yeah.
For the best, obviously.
Like what was it? Was it the Yellow Power Ranger, that samurai sword? Did you see that, by the way? This is.
You're trying to set me up here?
No, this is a real story. This is a terrible story. But one of the Power Rangers, got caught in California. He took a samurai sword to his roommate, like slice and dice.
So he brought
not in it like a Juice Man commercial for a company, like slice and diced up his roommate and with a samurai sword. Yeah.
So it was real
Go
life.
Power Jail. Yeah, he got picked
Prison.
up. He's 20 to life. Yeah, super. He can't break
so
those
wait,
bars.
when he goes to prison, does he like, hey, what are you in for? I killed somebody, and they're like, wait a minute,
He's a Power Ranger.
Were you the Yellow Power Ranger? How does that go down?
I don't know how any of this.
All
goes
right,
down,
yeah,
but-
let's. Hey, so you want to talk about the athletes we were talking about earlier?
Power Ranger.
Oh, wow.
Pleads guilty to killing roommate with a sword right there. It's the red Power Ranger right there, yeah. He was my favorite, too. That's not saying much, but it's go ahead. Continue with whatever story you were just about
I was
to begin.
saying, do we want to talk about the athletes that we were talking about with the teams? Do we want to do that now?
Yeah, let's get to that. We're going to get to now the athletes that have been washed up. Let's get this music on. And athletes that have made their money on The Price is Right for them, but should have probably retired a little bit early. I'm going to start. I'll go with this is all based on the life of Phillip Rivers. Based on that, he should be at this point, I think, hanging him up.
Yeah.
I like Phillip. I don't think he's got a family. You should like Phillip Rivers because one of his 75 children are listening to the show more than likely in Decatur, Alabama. So he's got links everywhere.
True.
Half of the South is now Rivers. So they could be listening right now based on his family size. So all that being said, though, I'm going to go ahead and start this one off. I'm going to go Jerry Rice on the Seattle Seahawks. Hang up the cleats.
Wow.
Legend, but he was having a hard time running routes out there for Seattle. Nobody remembers him as a Seattle Seahawk, which is one of the reasons. Should have hung up the cleats.
I'm going to go Yogi Berra with the New York Mets.
Wow.
It's, because we all knew Yogi is a Yankee, And this,
no, none of us. You and I did not know Yogi. He retired in the 70s, I believe, or 60s. I was not born at that time. And either were you. You're younger, unless you're from the Dominican and you're lying to me. But I don't.
I was
going to say.
What was that movie?
Juan El Potro a day. Jeff Price.
The bench warmers where they bring him in.
He's got documentation.
He's like, I am 12 written in crayon.
Yeah, I love that. John Lovett's right there. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Who's your next one?
I'm going to go ahead and go with Hakeem Olajuwon and the Toronto Raptors. I mean, that was an embarrassment.
Yeah, I totally
Hakeem
forgot.
the Dream was. It's part of the segment of this. Hopefully you do forget, because it was. I mean, his bones. He looked at that point like he was getting frail, and this was the dream shape. Hakeem Olajuwon. Many would say that played with him, that he was the best of all time at center.
Right.
I mean, you can argue Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and his stats. Wilt Chamberlain scored freakish numbers. It wasn't fair. Bill Russell and his accolades. You know, you could also go back to a Shaq, but overall talent, he was a better version of what Joel Embiid has in the game today.
He's a
with
freak.
A little more. And if it wasn't for Michael Jordan, he already had, I believe he won 2 rings, but Hakeem could have won with Clyde on some of those teams at the end when Clyde came over from Portland. But Hakeem Olajuwon, there's a reason he was drafted number 1 and Michael Jordan was drafted 3 behind Sam Bowie, and everybody wants to bring up Sam Bowie was drafted before Michael Jordan. Nobody's case is going to be made to be like, Hakeem Olajuwon was drafted before. It'd be like, yeah, one of the best players ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say Hakeem on the Raptors. That was an embarrassment.
You walked into my next one, which was Michael Jordan on the Wizards when he played for the Washington Wizards, because it was just kind of like.
I'll give you a pass on that.
I get a pass?
I'll give you
a
because he
one?
still was like a 17 points a game. It just wasn't MJ. His bar was set so high.
But that's what I'm saying.
To me, it was like that. That to me would be like saying, like Carson Palmer at the end on Arizona. Like when he was on Cincinnati, it was a better Carson Palmer. But
yeah, but Michael Jordan, he's scoring 17.
Actually, that's a horrible analogy right there. I just somehow compared Michael Jordan's
Well,
career with Okay, thank you. I appreciate
but Michael
it.
Jordan
That
scored
was
17.
hideous. That was the worst analogy I've ever made on the show, I think. That's saying a lot, but yeah.
But
I apologize to Jordan out there, although he is not the nicest guy. But yeah, I just compared to Carson Palmer in some kind of conversation with you. So continue, please.
Michael Jordan scored 17, and people are like yelling at him, "Just retire! Like, what are you doing? You know, like end on a high note." You know, we
Birmingham Barons would have been a better one.
Oof. that we can add to that one.
Tim Tebow, Binghamton. Okay, Rumble Ponies.
Rumble Ponies.
Yeah. Arr.
Is that what
How about
Rumble
the
Ponies make?
Johnny Unitas when he played with the Rams?
Ooh.
That was a good pause right there on that one.
That's perfect. It's like, OJ with the 49ers?
I'm not going to take a stab at that one. How about yeah, you know how he got there, right?
No, never heard of it.
Sitting in your seat right there, Coach K. He'll tell that story. No, he said he's in San Francisco. They shipped him out of Buffalo. That was Coach K's move. Thank you, Coach. Thank you for sending the West Coast, or somebody on the East Coast could be, 2 people on the East Coast could be in a lot of jeopardy today. All right. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to get to more on this. Pick up your head for the camera and smile. Coming back for more cheese right here. It's a Sports Drive, ESPN Pensacola and Black TV.
Foul on the party hose. Did not utilize Sky's Pizza's game day specials. Thus, had his bland, boring pizzas for today's tailgate. Today's game is now delayed.
Come on, man.
Pizza's just pizza, right?
Sky's Pizzas are huge, and no one else has the Man City, hot Hawaiian, or fried garlic cheese knots. With Sky's Pizza, $5 off large pizza game day special, they're always the fan favorite.
After further review, the game can be resumed. Game day starts with gigantic pizzas at Sky's Pizza on Davis Highway.
I'm really hungry, but I don't want to spend a fortune.
Well, you're in luck. Now you can get Denny's Super Slam with 2 eggs, 2 bacon strips, 2 sausage links, hash browns, and 2 pancakes, all for just $5.99.
That is a great deal. So I get all of that for just $5.99?
You sure do.
Wow, this meal just keeps getting better and better.
Some might say super.
I see what you did there.
The $5.99 Super Slam is back. See you at Denny's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. No substitutions.
Does pain have you sidelined on the bench? Clearway Pain Solutions wants you back in the game. Our team of compassionate, board-certified pain specialists, chiropractors, and physical therapists will relieve your pain and restore your function. For comprehensive, patient-centered care, visit a Clearway doctor at one of our convenient locations near you. Call Clearway Pain Solutions today at 855-527-PAIN or visit our website at clearwaypain.com. That's 855-527-PAIN or clearwaypain.com.
Hey, sports fans, we know that we all fumble now and then when we're headed for the end zone, and our vehicles are no exception. Next time your bad ride is a little off sides, take it to AMCO Transmission, your total car care facility. And with no interest financing, even with less than perfect credit, you'll drive away feeling as if you caught the winning touchdown. You always make the right play when you take your vehicle to AMCO Transmission on Davis Highway, just south of Airport Boulevard. Visit them on Facebook or call 800-GO-AMCO. AA MCO.
Dave Ramsey here. A home is a great investment. And whether you're buying a home to live in or as a rental property, great floors are a must to keep up that investment. The Floor Store on 9 Mile in Pensacola has great brand name flooring like Mohawk, Cortec, Dreamweaver, Shaw, and more. Plus, the Floor Store sells and installs wood floors, tile, luxury vinyl, and carpet. And they do showers and baths, kitchens and backsplashes, mosaic tiles, and fireplaces. The Floor Store's designer, Andrea, loves flooring. She designs your flooring to create the biggest impact and durability. But when you buy flooring, you might want it installed right. And that's where Rodney comes in. He came to the Floor Store bringing over 30 years experience as a residential contractor. The right quality, the right design, and the right installation. The Floor Store, located at 312 East 9 Mile Road. Check them out at shopthefloorstore.com.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
And welcome back. Sports Drive with you right here on ESPN Pensacola and Blab TV. Your sports quote of the day goes to George Best, the former soccer player. Said 90% of the money I used in my life was on women and booze. He said the other 10% I wasted. Your quote today, your sports quote of the day. Welcome back. We're having some fun here going over the games. I know we're getting into the Sports Hall of Fame coming up here with Gordon Sprague. Yesterday was in here, Florida Sports Hall of Fame, one of the VPs. And it is always great catching up with Flash. He's the guy that has done so much to help UWF have a football program. By the way, Saturday, you're not going to want to miss out as you are going to have a blast down at Seville Quarter. We have the official watch party at someone's like, that doesn't make sense. We're going to be down there having fun, drinking beers, and watching UWF football. It's going to be an awesome time at Seville Quarter as Davis Allen and Justin, the folks, will be out there, Justin Patrick, for the sports call from 10 o'clock. It's an early edition on Saturday. And then at 11:30, we'll send it to Will Kennedy in the pregame show. And then at kickoff at noon. Jeff, you going to be down there for it? He's like, you put me on the spot. It's my Saturday. I don't have to be.
No.
But, no, I'm going to be down there. So
absolutely.
He's like, well, now I'm not going. But
well, I just think that this is a really special team in West Florida. And remember, let's not take this for granted. Like, we like the teams like your Alabamas and stuff like that go to the playoffs, so they're always really good. This is something that we need to cherish. And the fact that we've had such success with UWF so early, go out and support these guys. I mean, this is awesome. This is only going to get better.
It's going to be an awesome time out there.
As you're watching Golden State attempt
to
play basketball.
No. What they're doing right now, if they make the shot.
They did.
Dallas has 20 points in 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, but they're playing Golden State.
No, you know how physically there's a time of how many possessions you can get. Dallas has 20 points in 3.5 minutes of basketball. That is 10 possessions. You're not supposed to get more than 6 possessions. So somehow they have found a way to score 20 points in 3 minutes of the basketball. Golden State doesn't play D either. You're right. They've all given up. You see how it's a whirlwind, it's a spiral. Like second, Klay Thompson got hurt, then Steph Curry. He actually did get hurt. But then That's the story. And then you had another one go down and another one. Folks out there listening and watching, thank you for tuning in on Blab TV. You know, we appreciate everything and looking forward to doing this again tomorrow with you. Have a great rest of your day, and God bless. All right, so right now we got a little MAC football action going on here in ESPN Pensacola. We've got the Miami of Ohio Redhawks and Akron 0-0, 4 minutes to go. 7 minutes to go, Toledo and Buffalo, no score. So nothing happening. No MACtion. No MACtion at all so far.
No MACtion, no surprise.
Yeah, Bill Hancock is crying somewhere in the stands right there. Jeff, we only have about a minute, but let's go over these ballots real quick. Just the entire ballot in 30 seconds.
All right, here we go. Of course, the 2020 Hall of Fame ballot came out. Bobby Abreu's on it, Josh Beckett, Heath Bell, Barry Bonds, Eric Chavez, Roger Clemens.
Eric Chavez, I forgot about that. He crushed the ball. Yeah.
Adam Dunn, Sean Figgins, Rafael Furcal. Wow.
Wow, they're digging now with Sean Figgins.
Jason Giambi, Todd
utility
Helton,
player.
Raul Ibanez, Derek Jeter, Andrew Jones, Jeff Kent, Paul Konerko, Cliff Lee, Carlos Pena, Brad Penny. Andy Pettit's on there, too. J.J. Putz is on there, by the way. Kurt Schilling's on there, though, and Gary Sheffield. There you go.
I'm glad the music is playing us off that. I heard Brad Penny's name as a Hall of Famer, so we're going to go ahead and cue the music. Rafael Furcal,
yeah. That's...
Yeah. Jeff, have a good rest of your day. That just... That ruined my supper.
That ruined mine too.
J.J. Putz, I can't believe that. Thank you guys. Sports Drive.
Yep.
God bless.
Here. Catch all the UWF Argos games and the big NFL games every Saturday and Sunday on Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. If you would like to be a part of ESPN Pensacola as a sponsor or promotional partner, just give us a call at 262-6000 or visit our website at ESPNpensacola.com.
ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. WEBY, Milton, Pensacola.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
On Jim Basketball, NBA tonight, Ben Simmons has his first three-pointer of his career. He has 10 points opening half, but the Sixers trailed the Knicks late first half, 49-45. It's the first of two on ESPN. The Mavericks off to a 26-7 lead on the Warriors. 11 early points for Luka Doncic, who's fresh off becoming the second player to LeBron under the age of 21 with a 40-point triple-double. Nightcap has the Clippers home to the Celtics, and Kawhi Leonard plans to play for the first time with Paul George as his teammate. Memphis freshman James Wiseman has been suspended for a total of 12 games by the NCAA. Will be eligible to play on January 12th against South Florida. Wiseman has already served one game. The punishment stems from two violations: his mother accepting an $11,500 Penny Hardaway gift in cash in the summer of 2017, and Wiseman playing in 3 games while ineligible this season. Memphis has announced it would appeal the decision. Jay Billis with this insight.
I think the rule stinks, and it should be changed. I think the rule is unfair, but the application of the rule is fair. If the NCAA didn't do this, if they didn't give Wiseman the 9 games, which is 30% of the season, and stuff that we talked about well before this ruling was ever handed down, they would have been criticized like crazy by others who got the same punishment in the past. So this is normal process for how these extra benefit cases go and eligibility cases.
And that cash payment was for when the Wiseman family moved from Nashville to Memphis. NHL, the Maple Leafs have fired head coach Mike Babcock. They're off to a sub-500 start this season.
It's an NFC South showdown. The Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. Coverage begins Sunday at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio. Presented by Vivid Seats. Company on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
People are coming through with some SNL episodes that I would pay so much money to watch. Justin Timberlake hosting Pearl Jam musical guest, in. Timberlake hosting Springsteen musical guest, in. Catherine O'Hara and Beyonce, in. So many good ones.
I think Drake, another one with Drake would be good.
Drake is
Drake
good.
was
I like
solid.
Drake on SNL more than I like Drake's music. I don't dislike his music. There's some decent stuff, but I prefer him as a comedian.
Yeah, Drake is strong. I think that's another good one that I've seen on the old Twitterverse here.
Somebody went with Chevy Chase and Sinead O'Connor. Props to you for knowing all the SNL drama and history. That will never happen. Both have been banned, but my hat tip to you. It's Spain and Company. Sarah Spain, Jordan Cornette, ESPN Radio, ESPN App, Sirius XM Channel 80. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. By the way, over on ESPN, Warriors Mavericks already underway. Luka has 11 already, in case you were wondering. Luka Doncic absolutely taking the league by storm. And the question is, are the stories about how he's already top 5 in the league, MVP candidate, breaking all the records, to be believed and taken at face value? Or are there questions that we can ask about what the new look NBA does to statistics? There was a great story in The Athletic by Seth Partnow writing about how the changes in roles, the changes in lineups, the differences in the way the game is played now has resulted in statistical anomalies, statistical leaps and bounds, to the point where we're seeing milestone statistics happening on a much more regular basis. He presented some interesting graphs that essentially said, listen, 25-5 is not what it used to be. The changes in per game stats over time